Not much in the way of a preview. Of course, I still like to spend this time with you guys. So, of course, we were still going to be starting an hour before. So, there's plenty to talk about in the world of wrestling. Obviously, I'm not concerned that we're going to be stuck for things to say for an hour. Yeah, we'll be able to fill the time. I'm sure of that. But there's only two things that they're previewing this week, and that is that Braun Strowman is going to be on the show. The other thing is that we've got a rematch between the Kabuki Warriors and Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I expect Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross to retain. Maybe we see the return of the Iconics. Maybe there's something along those lines. I actually don't know where the Iconics are. So, maybe like there's some outside interference, or maybe Asuka turns on Kairi, or I'm not too sure, to tell the truth. I can't see Kabuki Warriors winning the titles back. So I'm kind of hoping for something creative here. Braun Strowman, as we said, he's going to do a promo. Will we find out his next challenger? Could someone call him out straight away? That'd be interesting. We know that there's no Roman. Roman is out for the next several weeks. They're doing more TV tapings, and he is not going to be a part of those. Apparently, they are taping another several weeks worth of shows. So I'm not sure if next week's is live, and they're also taping next week, but apparently they are looking to tape, which means that there'll be no Roman. Of course, the news broke earlier about the Revival. I think we're all pretty excited about that, pleased for them. It just wasn't the right fit. They're not a WWE tag team. They're a great tag team. That's the problem. They just want to have great wrestling matches, classic wrestling matches, and not do like all the silliness that you have to do with WWE. So I think it's great that they're gone, to tell the truth. I think they're over the moon. So I expect them to go to AEW, although I would like them to go to NWA. So that's obviously the big news. And I think that's about it. I mean, I was literally just watching NXT whilst I was setting up the stream. NXT from Wednesday that we watched. And I was just watching back that Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa segment. And I really like the end. Like, there's no commentary. I don't think there's any commentary all throughout the thing. It probably could have done with commentary. But not the end. I thought the end was excellent. So, yeah, good stuff. Shout out to LSW. Shout out to Sunny Wolf. Got to mention as well, Sunny Wolf has had an interview with the Insiders. And I'll admit, I didn't even know that it was going up. I didn't know that it had been published. Otherwise, I would have tried to have made it. So sadly, I wasn't able to watch that one live, but I will definitely 1000% go back and watch that video. But that is up now, so if you want to learn a little bit more about Sunny Wolf, then you can jump over on the Insiders Wrestling podcast, and you'll be able to check that interview out. So, shout out to you. Hello, DJB Tazzy. Hope you are well. Varian says, don't know, I got a feeling that tonight might be the beginning of the end for the Kabuki Warriors. I think Kairi could be moving back to Japan. She's just got married, and her contract is up soon. She could be going to Stardom, says Varian. That's very, very interesting stuff. To be fair, it's not Kairi that I've heard is a little restless. It's Io Shirai, who I've heard is very restless. So, I don't know. I've just not heard any rumours that Kairi could be leaving. She could be. But it's Io Shirai that I've heard is a little unhappy. So, we'll have to wait and see. I get the feeling as well that this might be the end of the road for the Kabuki Warriors. I kind of feel that Asuka has really proven herself as just too important as a single star. I think they've put them together to elevate Kairi. And if Kairi's about to leave, or if Kairi's unhappy, or anything along those lines, her contract's coming to an end and she's not re-signing, there's no reason to keep Asuka in that tag team. So you could be right. You could be right. I'm a massive Asuka fan, so I would love to see her going back to competing for titles and being right at the top of the card again. Kind of feel like I was robbed of an Asuka match at WrestleMania. That tag match just didn't really count for me. So yeah, I'd love to get her back in singles competition, and yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe we're heading that way. Let's go down in the chat. Say hello to a few more people. Vegan, hello, my friend. Hope you are well. Vegan Strong Style. Undeniable heel. Says Days, I think we could see Aaliyah, Isaiah Scott, or the Forgotten Sons get called up. Ember Moon or Lars Sullivan return. I say Lars because SmackDown has for a return. That's all SmackDown has for a return besides Ember. I might burst your bubble a little bit here. I'm not sure you're going to see a great deal. I think if you look at Raw and think that was the Raw after WrestleMania, I thought it was very flat, to be honest. I thought there was a lot of matches that didn't matter. Yes, we got a call-up for Bianca Belair, but that happened at WrestleMania. Or at least I felt it had happened at WrestleMania. And yes, we got a return for Nia Jax, but she came back and she didn't really do anything different. So, yeah, you could get a return for someone like Lars. That now, this is like the season premiere of SmackDown. So, yeah, they could bring back Lars. I could see that happening. Ember, I don't know where she is with her recovery, so I honestly can't say. So I'm not sure how likely that is because I genuinely don't know if she's due back or what the situation is. In regards to call-ups, again, hard to say. There could be someone that makes an appearance. So I think if you look at Raw, there was Bianca Belair and there was Nia Jax. I can't remember if there was anyone else that got called up or returned. I can't think that far back. Plus also, it was a nightmare. I've had a nightmare of a week when it's come to streams. Because on Monday, we had the Raw stream crash. On Tuesday, we had a very strange NWA show. It was like an old 70s NWA show. And there was like random commercials. It was a lot of fun, but it was random. Then, of course, we've got the drama of Wednesday with NXT ending early here in the UK rather than, running at the same time as it does in America. For some reason, we miss a couple of ad breaks. So our NXT always ends like a good half an hour early over here. So everything was out of sync. So that was that problem. Then yesterday, we tried to do a watch-along for WrestleMania 10, and the lag was that bad. It took 45 minutes to get through the first match. We had to skip the second match and just try to get through. So I was having minor heart failure whilst that stream was going. Just like, why have I done this? Why have I done this to myself? I didn't have to do this. Why have we done this? But actually, when we started watching on the phone, it was much better. So, actually, in regards to that, I'm going to watch a few more events on my phone, old events. And if there's no lag, then that is definitely something we could look to do in the future. But yeah, there was so much lag at the start. It was horrific. So yeah, from a streaming point of view, I'm kind of hoping that this is going to be our first very normal, goes without a glitch kind of a stream. That's something else as well, the whole glitch. Will we find out about the glitch? I don't think so. I think that the glitch is maybe someone that's going to keep exposing the truth. I don't think there's a need for us to find out who it is yet. So I still feel like it's Ali. Could be someone like Ronda, but I'm not sure that I'd bring Ronda back that way, to be honest. So I'm leaning more towards Ali. But maybe we don't get any answers there. Plus, also, what about Cena? That's the big question, isn't it? Will we find out a little more about the Firefly Funhouse and Cena and things like that? I'm going to say no. I'm sorry, I'm going to say no. Again, if you have a look at Raw, We didn't find out about AJ. We didn't hear from The Undertaker. We just saw clips of the Boneyard match. And I think that's what they'll do tonight. I don't think you'll hear from Cena. I don't think there might be something from Bray, some little tease, but I know that they're going to show us highlights of the Firefly Funhouse match tonight. So, yeah, I think that it's going to be... I would dial down your expectations. And if we do get, like, Cena, and we do get call-ups, and we do get returns, then amazing. That's going to be amazing. But looking at Raw, it wasn't this non-stop party that you expect the Raw after WrestleMania to be. So, yeah, I would maybe just dial your expectations down. Otherwise, you might run the risk of getting a little disappointed. Jody just says, just wanted to say hi. Get in and out because I'm sick. Oh, dude. It's just non-stop, isn't it? Non-stop for you, buddy. Well, shout out to you. I hope that you feel better very, very soon. Jonathan, shout out to Jonathan. Hope you are well, my friend. Thank you for joining us. With Swamp Manor says, Days, did you know the first title that the Wyatt family members held was a tag title? Yes. I mean, Bray didn't hold an Intercontinental or a United States. Neither did Harper, neither did Rowan, neither has Strowman. So, yeah, the first one was a tag title. Was that when it was Bray and Randy? Or did they hold it before that? I know that Bray and Randy were tag champs. Well, it was kind of classed as the Wyatt family because I think Harper defended it as well. And that was around the time that Harper kind of turned on them. So, yeah, I did know that that was their first title. But I can't remember when it happened. Killer Kross appeared at the end of NXT. Did you see it? Yes. So, pretty sure, not 100%, but 90% sure that it was Killer Kross in the car. So, people sent me images of it after. A man and a woman in a car certainly looked like him. Just the picture wasn't clear enough to 100% say, yes, that was Killer Kross. But as I was just saying, I was watching the end of NXT, and I really like the end. I really like the end because it has a twist that you don't really see coming. A couple of twists, actually. Kind of twists and then twists again. And the end result is that Candice and Johnny obviously leave the building. Candice says to Johnny, are you happy? And he's like, yes, because he's just managed to put that to bed. That feud is done with Tommaso. Now he can move forward. But what was great about it is in the background, you've got their next threat. You've got the next problem that's right there in front of their eyes, and they haven't even seen it yet. Because I'm pretty sure this is going to build towards Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano taking on Killer Kross and Scarlett. So I think that both of those are going to come in, and I think they're going to go straight into a program with Johnny and Candice. And, yeah, mouth-watering stuff. So it's getting ever closer. Jeff Unser, shout out to you. Thoughts on Drew Big Show match? I missed them. I thought that it was a really good match. I've been critical of Drew not having a good match so far on the main roster. Like he's had matches that have been average. He's been in tag matches. He's hung out with Shane McMahon. He's hung out with Dolph Ziggler. He's, done stuff with Elias. But where are those great singles matches? Where are those matches that I can watch and say, yeah, this guy deserves to be champion? Well, I would say that he delivered one against Big Show, actually. And that might surprise a lot of people because I think people weren't happy that it was the Big Show. People weren't happy that he almost won and all this kind of stuff. But for me, I just watched it as the match that it was. So, Drew had just won the title. He goes back into the ring, the place where, it just happened, where literally his dream had just come true. So he goes back in the ring to do an interview, and then out came Big Show with a referee, and Big Show said that he wanted a match. Drew, and I really like this. This was one of the first things that I liked that not many people are talking about. But I love how Drew was like, no, you're not having a match. There's too many times where people will just say, yeah, I'm a fighting champion, you can have a match. But he'd only 20 minutes before faced Brock Lesnar. So, of course, it's stupid for him to have a match at that stage. So I loved how Drew turned around and said, no, don't be ridiculous. I'm not gonna fight you. I've literally just won the title 20 minutes ago. And it was only because Big Show slapped him that they ended up having a match. So that fired up Drew. So I like that. I thought that made sense. And then I saw people saying, oh, why did Drew look so weak against the Big Show? Well, first of all, the Big Show's a legend, right? So put some respect on his name. He's been around since the 90s, came through WCW. He's been involved in lots of major angles. You know, he had that WrestleMania match against Floyd Mayweather, one of the biggest athletes in the world. Yes, his booking has been awful, and he's been turned face and heel a million different times. But that's not his fault, you know? You can't blame Big Show for that. So, don't get me wrong, I'm not like a crazy Big Show fan, but I thought it was very disrespectful of people to say, why is Drew struggling against the Big Show? Well, first of all, it's the Big Show. Second of all, it's 20 minutes before he had been in a match with Brock. So Drew clearly was not going to be 100%. So I really got caught up in the story of it. And the story was that, you know, there was this match. There was a reason why the match was happening that I liked. Big Show, nice little surprise. Could have been anyone, you know. Anyone could have come out. Could have been Gronk, right? Gronk could have come down and challenged Drew. Would that have been better? No. So someone that you don't see that often, a legend, someone that was in WCW, someone that, you know, has been involved in loads of big storylines. Big Show, legitimate threat, comes out, reason for the match, nice little match. Big Show getting a lot of offense, people nervous in the chat that Big Show was actually going to win because he was getting very close. He was battering Drew. And then at the end, Drew gets the win. So I really liked the story. I thought the story was very well told. I thought the match was, don't get me wrong, not a 5-star classic, but I got caught up in it. I was watching it going, is he? Are they going to put the title on Big Show? And I was really into it. So one of my favourite Drew McIntyre matches, legit one of my favourite, and it didn't do anything that special, but I just thought the way it was structured, the story that it told, I thought was done very well. Yeah, I was a fan. I was a fan. Right, let me go down and see, because I can see that, you know me, I'm a rambling rabbit, and it sometimes means that I misses things, like Jake Ernie, shout out to you, singing the Wheel of Fun song. Food Stars, Heydays, do you remember me from yesterday? Shout out to you, Food Stars, hope you are well. I was just talking about myself being Rambling Rabbit, but we've got Rambling Rabbit. Heydays, do you think that AJ is going to come back with a new gimmick? Maybe a broken down man. Maybe the OC could turn on him to make things worse. Yeah, I think there's change, definitely. I don't think you can go through that match and then just carry on as you was before. I kind of feel like there needs to be change because the OC, they're just a group that get battered, and AJ deserves better than that. Like I don't know if they've ever won a feud. I don't know if they've ever come out on top of anything. I know they have won championships, but they don't tend to hold them very long. They're certainly not what the Bullet Club are in Japan, which is obviously what this OC is based on. The only club that matters. So, yeah, I feel like they need a reset. I think that they need to book them better. It could be that AJ leaves and Finn Balor comes in. You know, we've got a superstar shake-up right now. So it could be that, you know, the OC go in a different direction and they put Finn with them. Or it could be that Finn joins them, makes them stronger. And then you've got AJ, Finn Balor, Gallows and Anderson. I think that'd be awesome, personally. And hopefully then that makes them strong and we can move forward. I'd really love it as well if, like, Undisputed Era get called up, and then we could have OC Undisputed Era throughout the rest of the year. 4-on-4. Balor, Gallows, Anderson, AJ versus Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish. So I really feel like that could be a lot of fun. But I don't know if they'll go that way, to be honest. But the only thing I'd say is I would expect some kind of change to AJ, yes. So shout out to you, Rambling Rabbit. Let me go back down, make sure that we're up to speed. I am Jack. Shout out to you, buddy. Jonathan again says, Days, do you think 3 faces of Foley versus The Fiend? I don't know that there's really a reason for that match, to be honest. They definitely could go that way if they wanted to. I think that's what's so exciting about this new style of match that we're seeing with the Boneyard match. I say it's a new style. Obviously, we've seen it before, but relatively new to WWE. And I think that you could do something like Foley versus Fiend, Foley versus Undertaker for old time's sake. We know that match took 8 hours to film. So, I would be totally on board with them giving us Foley. I don't know how you would do 3 faces of Foley. I really want to... Personally, I'm not a fan of the supernatural stuff. It's my only criticism from the Boneyard match is, like, the slight hint of teleportation that The Undertaker did. I was listening to Jim Cornette, and he was like, maybe they're going to have Teleporter of the Year for 2020. Like, is it Matt Hardy? Is it The Undertaker? Maybe there'll be some other examples of one of the most exciting new wrestling moves at the moment, teleportation. And you do go, yeah, it is a bit weird. Because obviously we're used to, like, best high flyer, best technical wrestler, best brawler, all this kind of stuff, not best teleporter. But that tends to be where wrestling is at the moment. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of, like, the supernatural stuff. So as long as if they were going to tell the 3 faces of Foley's story well in a believable manner, then yeah, I'd be on board with it. But there's so much you could do. They could do Mankind in, like, a boiler room brawl, or do you know what I mean? There's so many different things that they could do. I'm very excited to see what they do with it next, because I think they definitely will do more. Triple H has even come out and said that there are other things that are being recorded off-site. We don't know if they're matches, vignettes. We don't know what they are, but we know that there are more things being recorded off-site. The only thing I would say, though, is that you can tell that there's also potential for them to get this wrong. Because if you look at NXT, I would say that match wasn't done correctly. It was a match. There was no commentary. It went like 40-odd minutes. There wasn't a great deal in it. I mean, yeah, they fought in the ring, outside, on a trailer. Maybe it's just so close to the Last Man Standing match with Edge and Orton that you look at it and you're a bit like, are you going to do something I've not seen? Or, you know, where was the drama? I didn't get much drama from it. I got 2 people beating the hell out of each other, but I didn't get the story so much, or even like the nice little callbacks. I mean, it had the crutch, but I don't know, unless there was like tons in there that I missed. I wasn't really getting much of a storyline to it or much emotion to it. It was just 2 people beating the hell out of each other for 40 minutes without commentary. Which, again, is pretty much what I saw at WrestleMania between Edge and Orton. So I kind of feel like that was an example of it not done as good. Like, I thought Boneyard was excellent. I thought Funhouse was strange. And I thought the NXT one was a little underwhelming. But again, I must stress, I have just watched the end again. And I think the end is brilliant. I think the end does have emotion. I think it does have some interesting story to it, so I thought the end of it was done very, very well. I Am Jack says, Sonny is a god. A god? A god? There we go. Someone asking. Spicy Chicken says, where's Pete Dunne? I would imagine not far from me. Birmingham is about an hour in a car away from where I am, and obviously that's where Pete Dunne was born and raised. I think it's where he lives as well with his family, his wife and kids. So he's in the UK. That's where Pete Dunne is, and obviously there's no flights at the moment between America and the UK, so he's stuck here. Same as Jordan Devlin is stuck in Ireland, and same that Finn Balor might be stuck in Ireland. I am Jack. Very kind donation. Says Days, buy a figure. Thank you very much, my friend. Really appreciate the support. You don't need to do that. You know you don't need to do that. But really, really appreciate the support. Food Stars says, how about The Fiend versus Willow? That is Jeff Hardy's alter ego. Yeah, I'd be down for that. I don't know how they're going to use Jeff Hardy. We know that he's back. He's made that very, very clear. So we know that Jeff Hardy is ready to return, but we just haven't seen a great deal of him. Maybe we see him tonight. Maybe Jeff Hardy is someone that's going to compete on SmackDown tonight. I don't know that I'd want to see him as Willow. I kind of feel like WWE won't move him in that direction because it's all part of the Woken universe, and I think they're just leaving that to Matt. Like, Jeff Hardy is what people know. I don't think they're going to try and get over Willow now to the WWE universe, because Willow isn't someone that we've seen. So Vince wasn't interested in the Woken Broken universe, was he? He hardly did much with it when he had Matt Hardy. So now Matt Hardy's gone. I'm not expecting it. They could do it, and I'm sure it would be fun, but I'm not expecting it. Cena came after NWO was disbanded. Since he got defeated, he will be NWO. Yeah, it's really interesting as to what's going to happen there with Cena. What's going to happen with Cena? What's happening with NWO? I don't think he's going to bring back the NWO. I'm not getting that vibe. I think that it's being used to tease a heel turn. I don't think you see him tonight. I mean, not that you can see him anyway, but I don't think that you see him tonight. I think they're going to let this hang for a little bit. So you might get Bray, and you might get like a little Funhouse thing. I'd imagine there'll be some follow-up on Otis and Mandy. We already know there's follow-up with the Kabuki Warriors and Alexa. There'll be some follow-up with Sasha and Bayley. We know there's some follow-up with Braun. So, you know, there's enough to kind of fill the show. I'm not expecting to hear anything to do with Cena, but who knows? I Am Jack says, Tyler Bate or CM Punk or Hurricane. What are those your, what figures you're suggesting? Out of those three, I've got Tyler Bate. I don't have Hurricane, and there is a new Elite that just came out. And CM Punk, I think I have a CM Punk. Do you know what? I don't know now. I don't know. I'd have to have a look. I think I've got one. I think I've got a basic, actually, yes. Jonathan says, Days can dig it. The Boss, Mr. McMahon versus The Fiend. I don't think he'll do it, to tell the truth. Not that long ago, he said he was done being on camera. He says that he's starting to... his own words were he's now starting to look too old. So he didn't want to appear on camera. So with that being said, I can't see him doing a match or anything like this. I mean, look at WrestleMania. Easily you could have had Vince announce in the beginning of WrestleMania. In fact, I think he should have. I feel like whilst he's still with us and around, you know, he is WrestleMania. So he really should have announced at the start, you know, we wanted to still put this on for you and join us and all this kind of stuff. But instead they got Steph to do it, didn't they? They got Stephanie. I mean, she, I suppose, is the friendlier face of the McMahons. rather than Vince talking. So, but he had Stephanie out there doing it instead. Back in the day, that would have been Vince. But yeah, I can't see him having a match now. I can't see him having a match. I don't think he wants to be on TV all that much. I think the last I heard was that he's very aware that he's starting to look quite old now. DJ B Tazzy says, Days, what was in that box that you got? I missed the video. Yeah, really fortunate in that I got sent another box from Euroshop. So I'm always honest with you guys that I don't get paid for that code that they gave me. I don't earn any money from that code that they gave me. You can see the code on screen at the top just above my head. You can save money at Euroshop with the code DAYS20, and you guys battered that code. You absolutely battered it over WrestleMania weekend to the point where I had an email from WWE. I think it was either Monday or Tuesday, and they've had to change it. They've had to change it because of how much stuff you guys had been buying. So, brilliant. You know, do it. Save that money. So they've changed it now so that you still save 20%, but you have to spend £100 or €100 first. So you spend £100 or €100 and then you save 20. So it's still 20%, but they've just kind of introduced that minimum spend. But there was a lot of people that were getting to that anyway. A lot of T-shirts that were being bought and belts that were being bought and just people buying baskets, loads of stuff. So brilliant. So yes, use that from Euroshop, that code. They sent me a package a few weeks ago, which was amazing. I'm sure you saw the video, the unboxing video. And then they sent me one earlier today, which arrived, and I genuinely didn't know what it was, so I opened it. I opened it not on the video, and when I opened it, it was just like loads of T-shirts, and I saw Huskus as well, and I was like, no way. So obviously we went and very quickly did a video. But I didn't do like a normal unboxing because I had already opened it, but I hadn't seen the stuff. I hadn't seen what was inside. So yeah, there was I think there was about 8 T-shirts and a Huskus, and I've said that we will give that Huskus away. I haven't had a chance to really think about how we're going to give the Huskus away or what we're going to do with it, so I need to just have a think on that. So I'll probably have something ready and some idea of what we're going to do for that on Monday. So during Raw, we'll announce something for that. So yeah, I mean, look, check the video out. I tried to make it as fun as I could because I know, like, it can be a bit dull just watching someone open a box. So as I said, it was done a little bit different than what you might expect. It wasn't me opening a box and just freaking out at different things. It was... I was trying to talk a little bit more about the items and just have a little bit more fun with them. And I think people enjoyed it. The feedback I was getting on Twitter was very positive. So, yeah, check it out. I Am Jack says, I've got loads of Jacks. Well, you would, because that's your name. That's cool. I Am Jack, let me know, what is your favourite figure? Let me know, what is your favourite figure? Don't super chat it. Just let me know and I'll keep an eye out for your message. What is your favourite figure that you've got? Jody Gilly says, the FDA just approved today the procedure I do at work for as a treatment for COVID. So we just got a whole lot busier and more dangerous. Okay, stay safe. That's there's nothing else that anyone can say. When it comes to, like, people in the medical profession, which I know that you are, like, everyone's support is right there with you, you know. So when this is all said and done, I hope there's a way that we can celebrate all of those that are in the medical professions. I know here in the UK, every Thursday at 8 o'clock, everyone in the country goes outside and applauds. And there's this big cheer for heroes or something like this, they call it. Clap for heroes or something like this. So, yeah, it's a nice thing that everyone's doing. I think it's being done in other countries as well. I don't think we've come up with it. I think we've stolen it. think we stole it from some other country, but yeah, you know, I feel like all of those medical professionals need to be celebrated. But they, more than that, they need to be kept safe. You're absolutely right. They should have the correct like masks and you know, protections that are needed. So yeah, I hope that you've got all of that, my friend. And there's nothing more I can add than stay safe. This is the world that we're living in right now. It's a scary, horrible time, but we should come through it. And fingers crossed, we're kind of getting towards the peak now. That's kind of what they're starting to say here in the UK, that we're kind of, it looks like it's leveling. We don't know yet, but it looks like it's starting to level off. So I hope that's reflected all around the world and things over the next few weeks just start to decline, you know. I mean, look, let's not get the wrong messages out there, because I definitely don't want to be doing that. This is something that's still very serious. And if it is starting to level, this means that it's bad still. But there is potential for it to start improving as well. Moda says Triple H retired the three faces of Foley. I know that Mick Foley wants, maybe if they don't do the three faces, I know that Mick Foley has asked on Twitter if he can have a Boneyard match. He said it straight after the Boneyard match. He was like, Mr. McMahon, can I be in the Boneyard match next year, please? And he said it all humble and very polite. So, yeah, he wants to be involved in that next year. I don't know if he will. It does definitely open the door for legends. I think that's what's really exciting. There is a way of giving them a match. I'm not sure you can count it as a match. I don't really count the Boneyard match as a match. I would say that very similar to the Firefly Funhouse, for me it's like 10 out of 10. A piece of entertainment that's 10 out of 10. I feel the same about the Boneyard as I do with the Firefly Funhouse. I feel like both were great. Both were 10 out of 10 for their, you know, the look and everything, all the creative ideas that was put into them. But I can't class either as matches. You know, if anyone asks me what's my match of the year, they're not even under consideration. So my favourite match from WrestleMania 36 was Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. But when it comes to like the best piece of entertainment, the best half an hour that I saw, I'd be leaning to the Boneyard a little bit more than Firefly Funhouse. I love the Funhouse. This is no knock on the Funhouse. But I think I'm a big Undertaker fan. Undertaker's my guy. I've been into Undertaker all of my life. So seeing him at this stage in his career, being able to still give us moments like that was quite special. And as I said, I think it opens it up for other people to do them. I'm not sure anyone other than Bray can really do Funhouse matches. So just for those reasons, I'd be leaning towards the Boneyard being my favourite of the two. But I thought both were 10 out of 10. So, right, let's go down. Where are we? We've got 23 minutes to go. Charlie says, Mama Days versus Becky. Who wins? Mama Days. Waposh says, I am Jack. I am Jack. Stop, dude. The amount that you've donated in the past few days. Stop. Please stop. Please. Really, really appreciate the support. And I will put a thank you down at the bottom, but please stop, buddy. It's absolutely not necessary. But let me drop a little thank you down at the bottom, and then we can get back to talking about some wrestling. Some good old wrestling. So there we go, Jack. Shout out to you, buddy. I am Jack. Shout out to you, but please stop. In regards to wrestling, whilst I'm just thinking about it, there is a brand new wrestling escape pod. That is my podcast that I've started up. It's very different to what we do here. What I try to do here is very interactive with you guys, because I love spending this time with you guys. But it dawned on me, like, what about when you're in the garden and you just want to listen to something? Or what about when you're going to work? Or what about when you're going to school or coming back from school or coming back from work or on holiday, or do you know what I mean? There's a lot of people that just listen to these watch-alongs. It always amazes me the amount of people that get in touch on Twitter saying, like, just so you know, I do watch all of them, and I've never commented, but I just want to say keep up the great work. And like, that really touches me, like, you know, to think that there's people that join us on a regular basis that we don't know, we've never seen in the chat, but still join us and are still a part of this community. So I thought, rather than me like constantly shouting people out and reading messages out and all of that, why don't I try and do something on the side as well as these that's literally just talking about wrestling and different subjects. So Wrestling Escape Pod, I've got a co-host as well, the great Tommy Toy Travels, who's got like over 80,000 subscribers, over 30 million views on YouTube, was one of the forefathers of wrestling YouTubers. He was around before I was around, and he was my inspiration. So yeah, amazing that I was able to reach out to him and for him to agree to do that with me. So our first episode was last week, and it was all about WrestleMania. Tonight, if you're a fan of the Wrestling Days channel, check it out. Check out tonight's, because it's all about how I started. Plus, also, I will tell you what I was doing before the Wrestling Days channel. In fact, to give you a quick, like 5-minute, quick little run through my life. And I talk about the Wrestling Days channel. Tommy talks about his channel. We talk about Grimm's Toy Show. Tommy was on GTS Wrestling. So he talks a little bit about what it's like, what that experience was like. We speak a little bit about Glenn Webb, who was an action figure reviewer who sadly is no longer with us. But yeah, I mean, it's just full of, like, I think there's some great humor in there. I think that there's some nice stories in there. It runs for, it's about 50 minutes, this one. It was a little shorter than I wanted. I should have spoke for another 5 minutes or so, but I wasn't timing it as we were recording it. So it actually, this one runs for about 50 minutes. Normally, when I record the next ones, I'm going to make sure they run for an hour. So this one's a little bit shorter than I would have liked, but it doesn't outstay its welcome. I think that we cover a lot of stuff, and I think it's fun. So, and also I have put an embarrassing picture in there for you to enjoy. So if you're a fan of the Wrestling Days channel, if you used to watch or still watch, I only say used to because he doesn't really upload that much anymore, but he is uploading stuff, Tommy. So yeah, Tommy talks about his channel. I'm going to talk about mine. That's tonight's. It's a bit of a like about us, so that people can get used to us. So next week we will be moving on to, I think next week is going to be wrestling figures. I think we're actually going to talk for an hour on wrestling figures. I think we're going to talk about the history. We're going to talk about our favourite figures. Going to talk about figures that we wish we had but we don't have. Figures that are most expensive figures, and we're just going to put it into a podcast in an hour. So yeah, we're recording that next week, and that'll be up next Friday. Every Friday after SmackDown, a brand new Wrestling Escape Pod. If you never saw last week's, it's on the channel. It's got its own channel, Wrestling Escape Pod. So you can go onto YouTube, type Wrestling Escape Pod in, and you can already listen to an episode. WrestleMania runs for about an hour and 15. And then, as I said, today's is going to go for about 50 minutes. As soon as we're done here, we will jump over there because the premiere is on 15 minutes after SmackDown. So in 2.5 hours, that will be about to begin. And Tommy has told me he will be in the chat. So if you watched Tommy and wanted to ask him any questions, or he will be in the chat. And can I just tell you as well, I know I'm talking quite a bit about this. I am trying to wrap it up. Can I just tell you, he was blown away last week. Genuinely, he was blown away by how many of you were over there enjoying that first episode, but also how interactive you were. He couldn't believe it. It was like, dude, there is no way I would miss the premiere for this week. There's no way. He had such a great time just chatting with you guys, answering questions and, just kind of getting to know some of you a little better. Definitely, if you get a chance, jump over there with us after, because I'll still be chatting over there. Obviously, I've got no issue talking about what we see here over there. But also, Tommy will be over there, and you'll be able to speak to him. So that is straight after tonight. Spicy Chicken says, do you have the Dude Love figure? Do you know what? This is really bad. I believe that I do. If I do, it's in a box and it's buried and it's hidden somewhere. I'm pretty sure I bought it. It was one of those that I was like, I've got to get that. But I just cannot remember if I picked it up or not, because I've done that with so many figures. It's like the Vince McMahon in the blue, the old Vince McMahon. Not old, it was a new figure, but it was him from like the 80s, where he had the blue blazer and it was like interview Vince. I still haven't got that. Wendy Richter that came out, I still haven't got that. So there's definitely figures that I need to pick up. I am Jack. Dude. Undertaker, glove, grey, 2011 Elite. Right, Jack, I'm putting you in timeout, okay? So I've put you into timeout, I am Jack, so that you can't send anything through for at least a good few minutes whilst I just say this. Please stop, right? Please stop. You don't have to keep doing this. So please stop. Chat away, yeah? If you want to send through, like, $1 donation so that I definitely see your comment, I will do that. Right? I will read your comment. I will see your comment, and you spend $1, okay? But like $50, you've done that twice, buddy. Stop, because the next step, because I've already timed you out, so you know this is true. Next step is I would have to, ban you from the chat. I'd have to, because it's a concern. Now, this is too far. Shout out to you, buddy. Sonny Wolf says, I am Jack, save your money. Yes, listen to people. Chalmers says, Days, you're going to have to disable super chats. I know. It's getting to that point. I mean, the thing is that when it comes to super chats, it's not something that I ever encourage. I understand the benefit of them, because obviously we only have so much time, and I'm always going to read out the comments from people that send in the super chats, and I've kind of find myself now largely answering those questions and answering those people. So I appreciate it. It's kind of got to the point now where if you send in a super chat, I'll read your comment. I can't guarantee I'll read it if you don't. I'm not ignoring it. It's just there's so many super chats that tends to take up my time now. I try to get through them as quick as I can so I can read other people's comments, because I want to just interact with as many of you as I can. But obviously, and I'm sure you understand, I'm naturally going to, prioritize the super chats, because those people have been kind enough to donate and clearly want their thoughts read and discussed, and it makes sense. But yeah, I wouldn't want to have to disable that because of this situation. So yeah, come on, chill, everyone. Yeah, let's all get on the same page. I am Jack. You're a good guy. There's nothing but love for you in this community. Nothing but love, with maybe a little bit of concern. If you took a bowl of love, sprinkled in a little bit of concern, mixed it together, you've got I am Jack. Yeah, that's where we are. So shout out to you. Stay awesome. Stop super chatting. Unless it's $1. I'll accept $1. Days, are you going to miss the revival? Yes and no. I'm saying yes and no because I won't miss them. If they go to AEW, I'm still going to see them. If they go to NWA, I'm still going to see them. The only way I'll miss them is if they go to Ring of Honor or MLW or something like that. Miss them in regards to, I think there was some good matches for them. But saying that, they weren't being given good matches. I think it's very hard to have good matches on Raw and SmackDown. Like, I mean, if we're being realistic, you can count on one hand the amount of good matches we've seen in recent times on Raw and SmackDown. It's just hard to have them because of like the commercial breaks. Commercial breaks really interrupt the flow, and it's very difficult to, as I said, have great matches on Raw and SmackDown. So then you've got to look at pay-per-views, and tag team wrestling just doesn't really get used that much. They tend to like have it obviously for the titles. So there'll be like the Raw tag titles defended or the SmackDown tag titles defended, but you're not getting tag teams having matches for no reason. You know, there's not like tag team feuds. If that's the point I'm making. I mean, if you look at like WrestleMania, there's loads of singles matches on. You got like Otis versus Dolph. You've got Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. You've got obviously then the Intercontinental match as well, which I know was for a belt, but it's not one of the main titles. You got Kevin Owens against Seth Rollins. Like the list goes on, but in regards to tag teams, you only tend to get the titles that get defended. So I kind of feel that for the Revival, where were those great matches going to happen? They can't happen on Raw and SmackDown because the commercial breaks get in the way. And unless the title's involved, it's probably not going to happen on a pay-per-view. So, can't win, can they? So, I think it was the right call. Vape Ross, Vape, shout out to you, buddy. A nice little, very comfortable, lovely $1 donation. I can vibe with that. I can live with that. Oh, I love it. Oh, a lovely little... Oh. And look, Sandman, 882 with a $2 donate. That's great. $2. I can go and get myself some cheese. Yeah? So, lovely. Lovely little $2, $1 donation. Sandman, 882 says, hey, Days, what do you think is next for Ciampa? Well, that was one of the great things, wasn't it, from NXT? The fact that Ciampa now very much looks like a face. You know, I think that will have really helped Ciampa. When NXT finished this week, I said I couldn't say who had won because I was ahead here in the UK. So I said, look, all I'm going to say is someone has won, but the person that's won might not have actually won. And what I meant by that was, yes, Johnny won the match, but he looks like a massive heel. And he might have just lost the NXT universe. Like, all of the fans now might start looking at Johnny in a little bit of a new light because he went further than we expected. He hasn't technically done anything that bad, you know? This was a war. Anything goes, and that's what Johnny did. But I think the emotion comes from the fact that Ciampa seemed to be at the point where he was ready to say, that's it, it's done. You know, they beat the hell out of each other. And it seemed like Ciampa was at the point where he was like, it's done. And he was actually checking on Johnny towards the end. And then that's when Candice delivered a low blow and Gargano double underhook pedigree, I think, actually. I can't quite... No, it wasn't. It was like a face first, wasn't it? And he got the victory. So he obviously went to lengths that we didn't expect him to go. He leaves looking like a heel. Ciampa leaves looking like a massive face. And could we see Ciampa get called up? Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think Ciampa wants to. I think he's loving it down in NXT, but yeah, he could get called up. And I'd be totally down for that. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Although tonight might feel a little bit soon because, of course, it's only a couple of days since we saw that match on NXT, and that was a brutal match. So, do I want Ciampa walking in like everything's okay? Probably not. Probably need to put a little bit of distance, don't we? A little bit of distance between that match and Ciampa being called up. So, don't know how they're going to do it, or when they're going to do it, or even if they're going to do it, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did get called up. Christy Zumba, shout out to you. So Chris sending in a lovely, manageable $1 donation. Lovely stuff. Shout out to you, Chris. Rambling Rabbit says, Jack, why do 50 super chats when you could do 25 £2 chats? Yes, Rambling Rabbit, yes. That's it. That is it. That is exactly it. I mean, not that I want 25 little donations either. But, yes, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yeah, here we go. I am Jack with a £2 donation. Boom. Legend. I mean, I wish you hadn't because you've already spent 100. But that is at least we're in a much better place now. At least we're in a more manageable area. So, yes, nice. Oh, this feels better, Jack. Look, can you see? Smile. Big smile, yeah? There we go. Much, much better, dude. Shout out to I Am Jack. Right, let's go down. How long we got? We got 6 minutes. Daze, do you see the Gargano tease for a main roster move? No, well, I think it's more likely that he is going to stay on NXT and feud with Killer Kross and Scarlett because they were in the car. So, and it makes sense because if they're going to be together in NXT, then it would make sense to start a feud with Johnny and Candice. So I think they're going to go that way. Days this past Tuesday in Belfast, Haaland and Wolf sounded their horn to support the NHS for the first time in 20 years. Shout out to you, Ben Russell. The Dukes says, that was a great idea, Days. I will check out that podcast. I do love the streams. Thank you, the Dukes. Thank you. The podcast, just to quickly touch on it, it's obviously for all of you guys. Like, don't think that just because it's not interactive or whatever that, you know, it's not for you. It absolutely is. But yeah, I wanted something that you could just get lost in. I wanted something where you didn't have to worry about typing in your thoughts and everything, because we've got the watch-alongs for that. If you join us for these, then that's what this is. So I wanted to do something different, and that was the point of it. That's why it exists. So it does have a reason. There is a purpose. And what it's going to allow me to do as well is literally just talk and, you know, not have to worry about how much I Am Jack has donated this time. So literally I can just talk and just talk on different subjects. So it's an hour. We can all get, even myself as I'm recording it, can just get lost in whatever subject it is we're talking about. And that's it. Then next week we move on to a different one. So might be funniest moments, weirdest moments, biggest heels, best moments, WrestleMania, Money in the Bank, wrestling figures, 80s wrestling, 90s wrestling, Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression. Might do ones on separate superstars. Might do a whole hour on Hulk Hogan. Might do a whole hour on Stone Cold. Might do a whole hour on Vince McMahon or the Montreal Screwjob or millions of different things. This is what I'm saying. We won't run out of content or things to talk about. So each one is going to be an hour. And yeah, we're just going to do one a week. I think if ever there was an opportunity to like increase it and do a couple a week for a little bit, I don't know, whenever Tommy's free. I know that Tommy has got like another job, so if ever he was off and wanted to, you know, really get some episodes out, I'd be totally down for that. But at the moment, just once a week after SmackDown, and yeah, tonight's is all a little bit about us. So, but it's fun. It's fun. It's not just us like chatting and being boring. I think it's pretty good. It took me ages to edit. Blessed Radio says, I'm Blaze. You call me blessed, which I am when you're live. Shout out to you, buddy. I am Jack. 12 Jack Boy 2101 at gmail.com. What is that? Your email address, bud? £10 a podcast, 99 cents. Lovely. Oh, that feels so nice. Feels so good. Shout out to £10 podcast. Love those guys. Mr. Rotella. You know that I love Mr. Rotella. And he obviously does a show before NWA. Whatever NWA give us, we never know. But yeah, very much Tuesdays. Very much £10 podcast, because they've got a great show before whatever NWA give us and a great post show. And actually, if you've not seen, that's kind of like a little hidden Wrestling Days stream. I actually did a 2-hour stream over on £10 a podcast on Tuesday. We talk about wrestling and we talk about NWA and we just talk about loads of different things, but we had loads of fun. So check that stream out as well if you've not seen that. If you're bored and you're just like, oh, I just want something new to watch, then yeah, there's Wrestling Escape Pod. There's the Sonny Wolf interview that went up. There's the £10 a podcast stream that we did the other day, and whew, so much. Vape Ross Vape says Days needs cheese. Do you know I do need cheese? I haven't had much cheese recently, so I don't know why that came to mind earlier, but I can guarantee that some of these very kind donations are definitely going to cheese. Okay? There we go. Some of these very kind donations are definitely going to cheese. Right, guys, we are a minute away. We've been rambling away for a good hour. We always know that it's never going to be a problem. We always know that talking is my specialist subject. So even if there wasn't much to preview tonight, we could speak about the Revival. We could speak about Braun. We could speak about Kabuki Warriors. Jonathan says, Days, if could wrestle any WWE superstar, who and why? I honestly wouldn't want to wrestle anyone because I can't wrestle and I'd get hurt. So I'd want to be competing against someone that I'd have a chance against. Right, we're starting with Braun. This is definitely not the person I'd want to be fighting. Down. Yeah, I can't think. I'm trying to think. Who would I want to compete against? I can't think, genuinely, because I'd get hurt. Chris says, here, buy some bread with that cheese. Another $2. Guys, we've got to the point now where I'm having a legit cheese sandwich. Cheese sandwich incoming. Talking of incoming, we've got the Strowman Express. Brand new Braun Strowman shirt. I am Jack says, yes, it was my email. Thank you, Jack. Although, Jack, I am keeping an eye on you because you've already spent £6, yeah, on 3 super chats. So, slow it down. Days need some Mountain Dew. Shout out to Lucas Rogers, David Hall, Evelyn, Paris C. The Face. Days, sorry for spamming, but how are you? Here is some cheese. People love sending me cheese. Guys, can I just say I will gladly accept all of the cheese, yeah? I'm all about the cheese. If you've been watching these streams for a long time, then you'll know I am all about the cheese. They're just showing a replay of Braun beating up an old man. You love to see it. But yeah, Braun Strowman beating up an old person. And becoming the new Blue Universal Champion. Days, wrestle Hornswoggle so your damage is limited. Good shout. Good shout. I'd still lose, but good shout. Okay, Braun's here. He's going to cut a promo. Let's see what he's got to say. When opportunity knocks, you answer it. At WrestleMania. Okay. So he says that he took everything that Goldberg had. The thing is, there wasn't much build, was there, for this? So they're really going to have to do something here with Strowman. Food Stars says, fight James Ellsworth and sub to Food Stars. I think I am sub to Food. Let me double check. Let me go to your channel and have a look. Yes. I am definitely here for this. Shinsuke Nakamura. Yes. That's my champion. That's my champion. Former IWGP champion. Lost in the mid-card. Give me Strowman Nakamura. Give me Strowman Nakamura for that championship. The only thing is, the only problem is, obviously they've been in a feud for the IC title and Strowman dominated that feud. The title ended up on Sami Zayn because some stupid 3-on-1 match got booked. So yeah, it was a mess, but I would love this match. What do you want? Here we go. When opportunity knocks, you better open the door. Well, knock, knock. This is great from Nakamura. You're supposed to say who's there? Shinsuke Nakamura is knocking on your door. You're talking about your WrestleMania moment. Last time we saw you. Yes. We beat you. Right. Love Nakamura. I am Jack says no cheese. So is this going to be our main event? I can't see this. Don't know what he's saying. He says, be careful what you wish for. I gotta say, this back and forth. This back and forth isn't like the scariest thing I've ever seen. Okay, well, later tonight you're going to get these hands. So, oh, Cesaro from behind. So, Cesaro tried to sneak attack, but nice kick to the head by Nakamura. Rocks Strowman. So, that's our main event for tonight, but I've got a horrible feeling. That this is just going to be filler. Whereas I genuinely would like to see Nakamura around that main event scene. But that back and forth on the promo wasn't the best. Like, Nakamura obviously struggles with his English, but it is greatly improved. You know, he was at least able to cut some kind of a promo, but I don't know why. I don't know if it didn't need someone to talk for him. Days, I broke my arm trying to do a Darby Allin move on my trampoline. Gotta be careful, bud. You gotta be careful. These are trained professionals. I like Braun. He's cool, but he just doesn't excite me. Yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it. I think Braun, when he was flipping over ambulances, was excellent. I think that his feud with Roman might have been Roman's best feud, and certainly Braun's best feud. It's kind of gone silly. Taking Braun in a silly direction was stupid. You know, you don't tend to do silly stuff with Brock. They did it like once with the Brock party when he had the briefcase, and that's fine as a one-off. But with Strowman, like when they're doing silly stuff, I wasn't into it. So yeah, I kind of feel like he needed to still be trashing stuff and flipping things over and, you know, causing carnage, basically. In regards to Nakamura, I think Nakamura is so hard to book. I think he's genuinely hard to book because the problem with Nakamura is that he's got this broken English. You don't know whether to take him in a comedy direction because, you know, he is quite a fun person. And obviously, you know, he likes to, in his promos, have a little bit of fun as well. So his natural personality is to be a little sarcastic and a little bit funny, and so he kind of naturally leans that way, but you don't want to make it too silly because it overshadows what a threat he is, because he is a great wrestler. He is a great wrestler. Someone actually he's very comparable to what I said with Drew. Someone else that was great in NXT but hasn't done it on the main roster. So I would love to see Nakamura give us some great matches on the main roster, really establish himself as being in that main event title picture, really build himself up. And I fear that what you're going to see tonight is this just get thrown away. I don't think that this is a long-term feud that's going to start over the title now. If anything, this is going to be Strowman kind of finishing that feud. This is going to be Strowman moving on from the feud he's got with Sami and Cesaro and Nakamura. So I don't know where that leaves Nakamura. In the wilderness is where it's going to leave him. But I don't know who Braun's next challenger is going to be. So kind of exciting, kind of concerning, kind of think I know which way they're going with it. And as I said, I genuinely think Nakamura is one of the hardest people to book. I would be really tempted to make Nakamura a Paul Heyman guy, you know. I would be really tempted. I think that Nakamura needs someone to build him up in a serious fashion. I think Nakamura has got to be treated as a serious threat. And Sami Zayn just can't do that. Sami Zayn is too goofy. Like, he likes to have fun with his promos and come out with witty lines. And I feel like putting Paul Heyman with Nakamura, I think that could be very interesting. Also, it means that on the weeks that Brock Lesnar isn't around on Raw, Paul Heyman could still come out with Nakamura that's always going to be on Raw, you know. So, and also creates a very interesting little group there. You know, does Lesnar help out Nakamura during his matches if he needed at any time? Would Nakamura help Lesnar at any time? Or both have obviously got Japanese connections. Both competed in New Japan. So I would get Nakamura away from Sami Zayn. And I would make him a Paul Heyman guy. Vape Ross Vape says the chat wants hugs days. Cheese hugs. I don't know what a cheese hug is. Is that where I embrace cheese? Because I can tell you, I embraced cheese a long time ago. What's a cheese hug? I don't know. Is that where you get like cheesy strings and you wrap it round yourself or something? Vape Ross Vape, if you can fill me in as to what that is, then we can start to move in that direction. Let me make sure we're up to speed with all the super chats. I believe I am. Food Stars says, I don't get the Sami and Cesaro alliance. Yeah, Food Stars, I will sub to your channel. If I'm not already, I will be. Don't worry about that. In regards to... I understand that Sami is a great wrestler that's underutilized. I understand that Cesaro is a great wrestler that's underutilized. So I can see the sense in putting them together. But for me, it's not working. Love the Kabuki Warrior theme as well. Dun 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 dun. She's already started her dancing. So Asuka dancing her way down. Kairi Sane on her way down as well. Embrace the cheese days, says Magical Wheelchair. Shout out to you, my friend. Days, thanks for the follow on Twitter. No problem. Food Stars. Let me have a look and see. Can I do it here? No. Problem is, if I click on your comment, it says report. Don't want to do that. Remove. Don't want to do that. Put user in timeout. Don't want to do that. Hide user. Don't want to do that. Doesn't give me the option to go to your channel. So I'll have to do that afterwards. Days, I heard a rumour that you was going to face Braun Strowman. That's correct. That is correct. I am going to face Braun Strowman. I could not beat Braun Strowman in anything. Like, if it was a food eating contest, he'd destroy me. If it was wrestling, he'd destroy me. I feel like he would beat me at absolutely everything. I can't think of a single thing. He's probably a better YouTuber than I am as well, so... Which, again, it's not hard. It's not hard. Bet he can't eat as much cheese as I can, though. Right, Kabuki Warrior. Woo! Asuka's turned all Ric Flair. I am Jack. That's to you, Jack. What have we said? Do you remember our conversation? Do you remember what we said earlier, Jack? We said £1 and £2, didn't we, Jack? Anador says, please stop, Jack. Otherwise, you will be banned from the channel. I sadly have to second that. Same with other people saying the same. So, I am Jack. Stop. What's up, Days? How are you doing? Do you think that Braun will hold the title until the virus is over so Roman can take it? Yes, I do. I think the plan is they're going to put that title on Roman, and if they have to wait several weeks, they'll wait several weeks. Asuka screaming out to the crowd. Kairi gets tagged in. Kairi jumps into the ring. I do feel like this tag team has been beneficial for Kairi, of course, because it's helped establish her on the main roster. Plus, also, it's given her a big, big character change. You know, Kairi has turned heel. She's changed her look. She's embraced her heel side, and it's worked fantastically. This is my favourite version of Kairi. I prefer this Kairi to the Pirate Kairi. So I feel that this tag team has been a real benefit to Kairi. But it's been brilliant for Asuka as well. Because Asuka now is interacting more. And I think she's found a new way to communicate. Obviously, like, through her dancing and the promos. You know, she wasn't doing that before. Where she was like just... I mean, before she would have shouted in Japanese and that would have been it. Whereas now, she's shouting in Japanese, but she's dropping in a few English terms. Things like easy peasy. And again, she does... she always now, more than ever, she is taking moments now, like putting her hands in the air, in between her attacks. Lots more showboating. She's really turned that showboating up. Look, just a little smile there. She tags in Kairi and a little smile to the camera. She's just constantly talking, constantly working, constantly showboating. Kick to the midsection, kick to the back. Basement drop kick. Lovely work. God, I love Asuka. I don't know if I've ever said this before. In comes Asuka. Days, what's the best way to cook a gator in a crock pot? There we go, Michael Moment. Would you beat him in football? Probably not, Chalmers. Probably not. Probably not. I am Jack with a £1 donation. Thank you. Have you seen the Big Show show? I haven't. I don't even know if it's on in the UK, to be honest. Hip attack on the outside by Asuka. Little wiggle around. Look, what's she going? She's going around to the commentary. She's getting her headset. Nikki Cross jumping up. Love it. Oh, face first goes Asuka. Nikki Cross, big crossbody. Nikki Cross losing her mind. I am so here for this match. This match is so much better than their WrestleMania match so far. I felt their WrestleMania match was a little bit pedestrian. This isn't pedestrian. Oh, wow. And Asuka on commentary. I tell you what, you can't say this doesn't have energy. This has got so much energy. It's got energy for days. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Just, do you know what? That fun. That's what this match is. And it's showing you that wrestling can work in an empty arena. Because you're not even noticing there's not a crowd. Like, Asuka constantly taking your attention. Just with, like, little things. Then she's going to the outside on the commentary table, just talking Japanese, and you're kind of waiting for the English words, but they never came. And then Nikki Cross is jumping up. And then, like, obviously you got the crossbody to the outside, and just, it's carnage. There's no time to not notice the crowd. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're sitting here just watching and enjoying it, and there's no time to go, oh, there's no crowd. Because there's no rest holds or slow headlocks or anything like this. It's fast action, lots of noise, lots of showboating and interacting. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Schwans1 says, have you got used to there being no fans? Yes and no. I think matches like this, you don't even notice it because it keeps your attention. I think you've got to change the style of wrestling. If you've got a crowd, then you can do normal wrestling matches, of course. But when there's no crowd, you can't have slow paced matches. It's got to be quick. It can't outstay its welcome. You know, it's got to be quick. It's got to have lots of action or things going on that distract you, or a really good storyline, like the Rhea Ripley Charlotte was a great match, and the reason for it was because you could see Charlotte working on that knee. We all knew the figure eight was coming. The bigger question was, what happens when it does? So you're watching and you're seeing this story unfold behind your eyes, and you're totally engrossed in it. And again, you don't notice the lack of a crowd. But then there's other matches like Street Profits against Austin Theory, Angel Garza. I really feel like that those kind of matches, I have missed the crowd. So again, look, screaming straight back. She's already screaming at no one. Hi Days, enjoy a chocolate orange on us. Shout out to 321 Screw, which I think is what they say in porn films. Nikki Cross down in the corner. Kairi Sane sitting on top. Shout out to you. Gaming in Real Time says, Days, do you think we'll get The Fiend tonight? I'm not sure you'll see The Fiend in the arena because I'm not expecting anything to do with John Cena. That rhymed. And but you might get the Funhouse, and you might get The Fiend in the Funhouse, but I'm not expecting The Fiend in that arena, no. Days, as I sit here and watch you, I wonder where you went wrong in life, says Big Boy Dally. Yes, well, I do explore that in tonight's Wrestling Escape Pod, actually. Where did I go wrong in life? Kairi gesturing over to Alexa. This is for the tag team titles. Kairi trying to drag Nikki Cross over to Asuka. Asuka in the corner. There we go. Tag. I like that. Asuka just went to tag Kairi's back, but she wouldn't do it because that's not legal. She wanted a proper tag. I don't even know why she's doing that. Asuka just going right over to Alexa. Woo! There's no need for it. There's absolutely no need for it, but she just goes right over. Woo! I wonder if Asuka's YouTube channel has made a difference. I don't know, but like she started a YouTube channel, about a year ago? And I'm just wondering if making content for that and doing videos for that and trying to be entertaining for 5 minutes in a YouTube video. I just wonder if she's maybe using some of those techniques in her matches now. And she's just maybe finding it a little bit easier to be vocal and to, be expressive. Because she is non-stop. All the time she's doing something. Double knees by Alexa. Oh, moonsault, but no one home. And she landed hard. Spear by Kairi to Alexa. Days, who would you put on a tag team Mount Rushmore? That's a good question. Let me know. What four teams in the history of tag teams would you put on Mount Rushmore? What 4 tag teams would you put on Mount Rushmore? That's a really good question. I mean, look, Road Warriors has to be one of those teams. That's it. Back elbow by Kairi. It's a really good question. If you don't want to put 4, just put down one team that definitely makes it. I'm pretty sure that we're all going to be in agreement, Legion of Doom and Road Warriors. She's looking for a powerbomb, is she? She's got Nikki Cross up. Forearm strike. Nikki Cross goes down. Looking for the armbar. Couldn't quite get it. Ooh. Asuka lock, but again, is she going to get it? No. Alexa Bliss coming in. Swinging net breaker by Kairi. This is so much better than their WrestleMania match. So much better. Here we go. Kairi getting tagged in. Dudley Boys, that's a really good shout. Golden Lovers. Didn't expect them to get a mention. Oh, no one home. NWO. Hardy Boys. I could see Hardy's being on there. I think Dudley's. I'd go with Dudley's. Spinning back elbow. Hardy's, Dudley's, Edge and Christian. Face first. 1, 2. Asuka dragging Kairi Sane out the ring. There's not many mentions for the Usos. I'm quite surprised that the Usos aren't getting some more shouts. Young Bucks, says Nicholas. Yeah, I can see the Young Bucks. Up top. Great work by Alexa. Dusty Rhodes' Mixing Bowl Emporium says, get down to Dusty Rhodes' Mixing Bowl Emporium for all of your mixing bowl needs. Use the promo code Yellow Polka Dots at checkout. Shout out to Dusty Rhodes' Mixing Bowl Emporium. Oh, Kairi Sane moves out the way. They're giving this match some time, aren't they? Block. Nice kick by Kairi. Oh, big forearm. Nikki Cross. Twisted neck breaker. 1, 2, 3. There we go. They retain. No great surprise. But Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss retain. Very fun match. Very fun match. Very fun. Harlem Heat, says Andy. Brothers of Destruction, says Mosen. Brood, men on a mission, says Swamp Manor. Yes, men on a mission. Mabel and Mo. Rock and Sock. There are some Uso mentions. Harlem Heat, another mention. We Want Volta. So, Strowman versus Nakamura, but it won't be for the title. They've not announced that it's for the title. Coming up next, Otis and Mandy. I mean, it looks like that's it for Fire and Desire, doesn't it? It looks like Fire and Desire are done. Days, could you see Keith versus Dream for a title? Yeah? Definitely. To be honest, I think I'm so done with Keith Lee and Dijakovic. They've absolutely run that into the ground, haven't they? So it's definitely time for a new feud, and I'd be totally down for Velveteen Dream Keith Lee. I'd like a little bit of backstory though, you know. I kind of feel that with NXT, they have got great wrestlers, and they do have interesting personalities. They do give them some nice promo time. I think I'd just like some vignettes. I really feel like AEW does a great job with that. You get vignettes with AEW. Plus also, they've got other things like Being the Elite and a few other different ways that they can give you a bit of backstory or give you some storyline for each superstar that you just don't get with NXT. You know, I mean, what's Velveteen Dream up to at the moment? What's he trying to achieve? I know he came back and he's trying to get at Adam Cole, and I'm sure he'll get that match. But, yeah, I'd just like some vignettes explaining why. Why does he want Adam Cole? Why does he want that title? Why is now the right time for him to go after it? I'd like that explained. And maybe it will be in a promo or something. But again, I just feel like they could turn the vignettes up a little bit. So, yeah, Velveteen Keith Lee, I think that would be an awesome little feud. Hunter Crawford says, how about Rock and Roll Express? Yeah. Yeah, I think you've got to say they're like one of the all-time great teams. Steiners as well. I feel like the Steiners, brilliant team. I feel like the Dudleys as well. Like this is what I'm saying. It's really hard. It's really, really hard. I think, for me, there's no doubt Road Warriors go on that. Hawk and Animal go on tag team Mount Rushmore. Midnight Express. Rock and Roll Express. Hardy Boys. Dudley Boys. New Day. Usos. The list goes on, you know. Young Bucks. I feel like all of those are in the conversation. Demolition. Don't know if anyone's mentioned Demolition. But how do you pick four? I really genuinely think it's harder to pick 4 tag teams than it is 4 singles men to put on a Mount Rushmore. With the guys, you know you're looking at Ric Flair, Hogan, Undertaker, Stone Cold, Rock, you know, John Cena. It's around, you know, there's probably about 10 that you could say, yeah, they deserve it. But I mean, like, when it comes to tag teams, they're all so close because none of them really defined an era, did they? You know, I suppose the Road Warriors did, but that's why they're the exception. Could you say the Young Bucks defined this era? I don't know. Are they that much better than the New Day? I don't know. What about the Lucha Bros? I don't know. It's hard, isn't it? I wish we'd never had this conversation. Moda says, shout out to you, Dusty Rose's Mixing Bowl Emporium. Days, how about Skip and Zip, the Body Donners? Well, I'd put them in just for Sunny, because we all know how lovely Sunny was around that time. Not so much now. Natural Disasters, Earthquake and Typhoon, yeah. New Age Outlaws, Steiner Brothers I could go with. Heart Foundation. The only thing with the Hart Foundation is they were a great team, but they weren't around for very long. Like Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil. I think they were around for a few years. Because if you're going to put in, like, Hart Foundation, you got to talk about the British Bulldogs. Man, it's hard. I hate hard questions. I like it when someone asks a question and we just answer it and we know that it's true. But with this one, not a clue. Killer Bees, says Dusty Rhodes' Mixing Bowl Emporium. Hello, I am Elias. Hello, Elias. Hello, Elias. What are you up to, bud? How are you? How are you feeling within yourself, Elias? Okay, so we got an Elias promo. Elias says, I got your messages. I thank you. He says, dim the lights at home. Turn the volume up. Don't worry about the neighbours. They'll be clapping along too. Can I just tell you, the one thing I'm looking at here is the fact that he's got an acoustic guitar. And the end of it looks like an electric guitar. I've never seen, I can't recall ever seeing an acoustic guitar that's got the strings that way. That must be something that Fender do? I've got an acoustic here. I've got a Takamine. And this one, hang on, let me see what you can see. There, look, can you see the end? That's how most acoustic guitars look. Should we sing along with him? Guys, horribly out of tune. Horribly out of tune. But yeah, I'm more fixated on the on his end of his guitar. Miz and Morrison are hands down the greatest tag team of all time. Legion of Doom, yeah. Legion of Doom, Road Warriors. They were Road Warriors when they were in, like, the NWA. When they moved over to WWE, WWF at the time, they got changed to Legion of Doom. Oh, I'm really pleased that's over. So that's done. We can all move on with our lives. Corey Graves is on commentary, by the way. We haven't seen... I don't feel like we've seen a great deal of Corey Graves. WrestleMania was the most social event in WWE history. Otis and Mandy is what we're going to have a look at now. Is this... I don't know when they recorded this SmackDown. Is this live? It can't be live. Must have been taped this week. Wait a minute. I have a guitar that's missing a string. Hollywood Blondes. Yes, Hollywood Blondes. 1987. Big Fan says walk with Days. Tell you what, I don't do a great deal of walking, so we won't get far. So we're just having a look at the backstory here. Everything that went down between Otis, Dolph, Mandy, and Sonya. I wonder if we're gonna get the glitch. I wonder if we're gonna get some glitch information now. Days, I would go Legion of Doom, Hardy Boys, Hart Foundation, Shield. Shield's a great shout. Shield. That's my 4 teams. Dudley Boys are extremely close. I'd be Legion of Doom, Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, Shield, with Rock and Roll Express just missing out. I could maybe go that way. Oh, look at that low blow. In real life, I think Dolph and Mandy are actually going out, you know. Just to upset everyone. I'm pretty sure they are a real couple in real life. Finley and Hornswoggle have got to be one of the best teams ever. There's the kiss. I'm not crying, you're crying. God, Otis is a true inspiration. Corey Graves says this is just a novelty. Here comes Dolph. Sonya coming out with Dolph. So it looks like these two are working together now. Oh, look at that. They've come straight out after Corey Graves. They said, "Do you think this is funny? This is real life." We want the best for Mandy. This is not funny. Alright. Here comes Heavy Machinery. I like that. I like the fact they've gone straight out and they've gone straight over to the commentary table to kind of have a word with Michael Cole and Corey Graves. Tucker. Sorry to interrupt your meltdown. Dolphin Sonya. Blue World Order. Yes, Blue World Order. Evolution. So, Otis and Mandy, some pictures of them working out together. Yeah, what are these pictures? Yeah, you can clearly see Otis and Mandy are busy. Like, those bananas won't hold themselves. Someone's got to stand outside the performance center with some bananas. So, Tucker is coming down. I think this is good for Tucker. You know, he gets overshadowed by Otis. So, Tucker versus Dolph. Tucky. Versus Dolph Ziggler. The King of Kings. The Cerebral Assassin. The Game. Triple H. What is this? What is this? What are you showing me? Triple H. The King of Kings. A celebration. Ooh, 25 years of Triple H. We're going to celebrate Triple H in 2 weeks' time. That'll be interesting. Just think of all the guests that they could bring in for that, or what they could do for that, or could it be another match? Is it going to lead to a match, or... Woo! I'm into that. That's good. Oh my god, do you know what? That's actually borderline creative. Well done, WWE! Well done! It is borderline creative. Triple H return, the King of Kings. Daze, have you figured out what you're going to do with that new Huskus? We'll give it away. We'll definitely give it away. But I haven't figured out how we're going to give it away, or how we announce a winner, or anything like that. So I'll have a think over the weekend, and I'll announce some on the Raw stream. So at the start of Raw, I'll have something figured out. But yeah, I mean, I only knew about it today. I didn't even know about it before today, so I've just not had chance. Because today, I mean, wow, today was crazy, because I got up, did that video, the unboxing one, then the news about the revival broke, then I had to finish editing the Wrestling Escape Pod and get that uploaded, so got all that done as well. Then, I can't remember what I did then. There was a couple of other little emails and Twitter bits that I had to do. Then I had to set the stream up. So, yeah, it's just been a bit of a non-stop day. It's been a good day, though. I feel like I've had a very productive day today. And how crazy as well. I don't even know what day this is for streaming, because Sunday we did WrestleMania 32, Monday we did Raw, then we did NWA, then we did NXT, then we did WrestleMania 17, then we did SmackDown, then we did WrestleMania 36, then we did WrestleMania 36, then we did Raw, then we did NWA, then we did NXT, then we did WrestleMania 10. This is day 13. 13 days in a row we've done streams. 13 days in a row. And I'm still no good at it. And this has been one of the worst weeks for like lag and data running out and all these dramas. Chris says the fabulous Freebirds. Yeah. What about the Four Horsemen as well, or is that more of a faction? I suppose it's more of a faction, isn't it? But yeah, the Freebirds. The Freebird rule, where there was 3 members, but any 2 could defend the titles. It's a good shout. It's a really good shout. Stone Cold, Rock, Hogan, Flair, done, says Marcus J. £10 a podcast. You're on like day 10. Yeah, it's. I've lost count. Although I did just count. Days, here's my Mount Rushmore of stars. Stone Cold, Rock, Hogan, Cena, Triple H, Bret Hart. How big's your Mount Rushmore? How many more mountains are you chiseling into here? You do know Mount Rushmore's like 4 people. Because you've got Stone Cold, Rock, Hogan, Cena, Triple H, Bret Hart, Bruno Sammartino, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and so many more. Yeah, boy, Yoshi says quarantine days. Yes, 13 days of quarantine. Days, how about the British invasion on Mount Rushmore? Wouldn't make it for me. 2, kick out. In 2 weeks, Triple H is going to appear on SmackDown to celebrate his 25th year anniversary. He is. That was very factual. I like that. Justin, shout out to you. Very kind donation, my friend. Thank you. Justin says, Days, you should do a before and after John Cena with your 2 Huskuses. Keep one normal and paint black eyes on the... Oh, right, when he was pounding away on Huskus. I can't. It's too emotional for me. You guys know how much that upset me. I still haven't fully recovered from seeing Huskus getting smacked in the face by John Cena. I think that's when we all knew that he'd turned heel. When he was punching Huskus in the face. Into the steps goes Dolph, and Tucky says that's for my boy Otis. Sonya Deville, I'm not sure she really knows what to do. She's kind of out there just kind of like trying to clap away and cheer Dolph on. I don't know why she cares. It's a very, very weird relationship, isn't it? This Dolph and Sonya one. Shout out, Justin. Thanks for the support, buddy. New Age Outlaws Days. Are we going to do a stream on April 18th? Oh, Dolph getting hurled hard on the commentary table to replace UFC. I don't know. I am gutted about that. So excited for that UFC show. They genuinely did try everything to give us that show. Hope you're good from an Italian follower. Shout out to Nicola. I am. I'm fine, thank you. Hope you're well as well. Hope Italy is faring better now. Big pace. See that power slam? That power slam from Tucker. That was huge. Nasty Boys and the Bushwhackers. The Bushwhackers. on a Mount Rushmore of tag team wrestling. Maybe as the sheep herders. Big strikes coming in from Dolph, who's trying to fire back, but a lovely clothesline. This has been hard hitting, you know. Michael Cole, that is what I just said. Michael Cole saying that this has been heavy hitting. I'd like to think that Michael Cole has got our stream on here, and then as we're talking, he's basically stealing what we're saying. Shoulder up by Dolph. Days, would you recommend starting to watch AEW? Yes, I think AEW is very good. I think it's not perfect, but then what is? And I think if you go into it knowing that it's got a little bit of silliness about it, which definitely surprised me. I wasn't expecting it to be 2, 3. Dolph gets the win over Tucker. I wasn't expecting it to be to have like the kind of silliness aspect that it does have, but it is very good. They do it better than WWE do. Oh, just watching a replay there. Tucker going hard into that ring post. Real hard into that ring post. I swear, he went that hard. The ring probably moved a little bit. So, I just don't get this union. I don't get it. Why is Dolph flirting with Sonya? Don't know. David Hall says, I want to take Sonya Deville home and set her straight. Just having a look at the ladder match, of course, for the SmackDown Tag Team titles that was defended in a singles match. A triple threat singles match for the tag team belts. Thanks, Miz. Is there a stream tomorrow, says Yusuf? Not at the moment, but in all fairness, the WrestleMania 10 one kind of came out of nowhere. So, not at the moment, but don't be surprised if something happens. I said before, you know, I'd be really interested in watching some... I'd like something that's like an hour long. Just something that's not long. Something that we can all watch and just enjoy. And do you know what I mean? It's not a chore to sit through. I feel like an hour is lovely. And those early Raws were an hour. So, you know, we could watch something like the first ever Raw. Because it's only an hour long. Just watching the end of the ladder match, which was a bit strange. The finish was a little bit weird. All three of them have got a hand on that thing once they unclip it, and they don't know what to do. So they're all holding on to that belt holder, and in the end, Morrison is the one that tends to fall with them. There we go. Days Beverly Brothers, yes. I hope we do have a stream tomorrow, says Nando. Days Ride Along is a good watch. The only problem with Ride Along is you have to sit and listen, don't you? Which makes it a little bit tricky. I'd like something where you don't have to listen too much and you can just call the action and have a bit of fun. And coming up tonight, we've got the Dirt Sheet starring Miz and Morrison. They must have pre-recorded this because I don't believe the Miz is around. Can we get a Money in the Bank watch along? That would be a great stream. Probably not, because Money in the Bank's going to be quite long, isn't it? Would be a great stream, but maybe we do that a little closer. Nothing, it's me. Days, if you could bring back the NWO or create a faction, who would you add? I would tweak the OC. I think they've got something with the OC. I think that they need to make them less silly. I think they need to make them... I mean, it's all right for them to have fun because they had fun when they were the Bullet Club, but they've got to fix the booking. And I would put Balor with them. I think that's what people want. People want Balor, AJ, Gallows, Anderson. But as a proper threat, book them the same way that Triple H books Undisputed Era. Book them that strong. So rather than starting a new faction, let's just fix the ones that we've got, and that one needs fixing. And, you know, maybe we'll see that having been fixed thanks to The Undertaker. Perhaps what he's done to AJ is, you know, fixed him. Enlightened him. Days, I've got a 10-man Mount Rushmore. Austin, Hogan, Flair, Rock, Cena, Shawn, Andre, Reigns, Taker, Brett. There we go. That really is a who's who. They should have had Kofi and Jimmy Uso named the SmackDown. Could you imagine that? That would have been wild. That would have been wild. Kofi and Jimmy are now the tag team champs. Like, what do you do with that story? I thought Miz was sick. They may have recorded this before. I'm not sure. Jim Gore, shout out to you. Days, just because you can't end... Oh, hang on. Liam, what's Liam saying? Days, just because you can't end the stream streak tonight, tomorrow you should stream WrestleMania 19? Again, it's not... I don't feel like people listen to what I say sometimes. Because if I am going to stream, I'd be looking for something quick, easy, bright and breezy. Something that we could have fun with. Something that's not going to outstay its welcome. And so far, the suggestions have been Money in the Bank or WrestleMania 19. So, let's rethink, shall we? Let's rethink. I'm after something quick and easy. Nice little hour. Do you know what I mean? Days, do a watch along of the first NXT with the rookies. See that now we're cooking on gas. I feel you, Rob. I see what you're saying. Days, did you see that BT are going to show WrestleMania's Part 1 and Part 2 across 2 days this weekend? And are you streaming anything this weekend? There's no plans for any streams this weekend, but I will be amazed if we don't stream something. Yeah, I'll be amazed if we don't stream something. I don't know if we'll do anything tomorrow. I mean, it could be that we don't do anything tomorrow, but we'll do something bigger on Sunday. Don't know. Can't quite figure out what we're going to do. So watch this space. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, because legit I might just throw some up. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you follow on Twitter if you've got Twitter, because I always put messages over there as well. Right, we're about to go back. We're sneaking up to the halfway point. On Backstage, they're going to have special guest Edge. Right, dirt sheet time. Dirt sheet. I'm never a big fan of these. They don't ever land with me, but I know you lot enjoy them. Okay, here we go. Dirt sheet. Days, if you're looking for something short, I agree with what you said, and we could watch an old Raw or an old SmackDown. Days, could you do WrestleMania 3? Maybe. I'm not going to rule anything out at the moment. People seem to enjoy the watch-alongs, but I've just got to make sure that if I watch an old pay-per-view on my phone, that it won't lag. Because, man, that WrestleMania 10 one was stressful. As I was sitting here, and the little circle was going round, I was just like... I gotta get through this. I gotta get through this. Right, look, let's focus on the dirt sheet. It was the most... Oh, I just don't like it. I don't find it funny. Oh, I love the watch along. Shout out to you, Omari. Raw 1000, says Food Stars. Are they just showing a bit of the Boneyard match? Is there going to be a... No. Stream last year's halftime heat. That was good, wasn't it, Phil? Shout out to you, Phil. Last year's halftime heat was amazing. We didn't stream it. So that's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout at all. You watched WrestleMania 10 without me. Well, vegan, we tried. There was the lag was awful at the start. Hey Hey Ho Ho is Pee Wee Herman's favourite song. Shout out to Kevin Andradas. Shout out to you. Vegan says, my Mount Rushmore, Savage. Ooh. Hart, Austin and Lesnar. I can understand that. Johnny Drip Drip. Is this their song? I don't know what I'm watching. But I can just feel cringe. My cringe alarm is going off. I don't know what I'm watching. Here we go. They're not even in time. Hey, hey. Ho, ho, let's go. It's a Morrison. Hey, hey. Thank God. Here come the Usos. I'm going to put the Usos onto my Mount Rushmore just for interrupting that. That's it. Just for coming down and stopping that. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hey. Yeah. Pee Wee Herman has got more street cred than both of you two. How dare you? Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Yeah. We found out on that. That's probably the biggest thing that happened on that WrestleMania 10 stream. We found out that Whoop, There It Is was sung by a group called Tag Team. Whoop, there it is. You're trying to drive a wedge between us. So Miz says he's still not medically cleared. Now, they are talking about WrestleMania. So this was definitely recorded after. Here come the New Day. Big E is like, oh, people at home, don't you dare be sour. I like that. I haven't noticed that before. Big E saying people at home, don't you dare be sour. Nice to see Big E. Days, watching this makes me think I've taken so many drugs. Revival probably going to AEW, says Chris. I agree. I can see that, yes. Baby! The original match didn't go on as planned. The other members. So they're saying that the other members should now compete? Okay. Next week, Jey Uso, Miz, Big E. There we go. Little Teddy Long reference. In regards, but it's not going to be a ladder match apparently. So they're going to defend the titles again next week. It's going to be the 3 people that weren't at WrestleMania. So there we go. That makes sense. That's logic. I'm totally fine with that. Right, we're at the halfway point. Player. Forgotten Sons. Forgotten Sons got called up. They did not. Spoiler, they did not dominate NXT. Awful. Awful team. One of my least favourite teams in NXT. How have they looked at the Forgotten Sons and gone, yes, that team that is not getting over in NXT, move them to SmackDown. That's what we need. That's what SmackDown needs. SmackDown's in danger of getting good. Can we somehow slow down the momentum? Yeah, let's move the Forgotten Sons. Awful. Some of the worst matches I've seen this year have been Forgotten Sons matches. I hate that team. If you'd have said to me, are the Forgotten Sons going to get called up? I'd be like, no. Surely they're closer to getting split up than they are to being called up. Well, there we go. Look at what just happened there. Amazing. Player! Days WrestleMania 3 would be fun. What do you think about that? What do you think about the Forgotten Sons? Literally, no one is talking about them ever. No one's ever spoke about. I don't even think they've spoke about themselves. I don't even think their own families are going to be excited by that news. That team is awful. That is so dumb, says Jim Ackerman. Tag title matches being made with singles matches is stupid. Well, the only thing I'd say is that they were forced into it at WrestleMania. The only alternative was to not do the match at all, which they could have done. They could have just dropped the match, but it makes sense to give the people that didn't get the match at WrestleMania to do the match. So I can see the story to it. I can see the logic to it. Phil says they needed a replacement for the Revival. What? They, what? I don't understand. There's so many teams that you could have brought up instead of the Forgotten Sons. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I understand the Revival have gone, so there's a vacancy for a tag team, but why would you bring up the Forgotten Sons? I mean, look, who else is there? You're not going to bring up Undisputed Era. You're not going to bring up that Indian tag team. You're not going to bring up... You can't bring up the Broserweights because they're the current champs. You can't bring up Grizzled Young Veterans because they're probably stuck in the UK. Actually, do you know what? Once you start going through it, there's not tons of teams, is there? There's not tons of teams. Who was in the Dusty Classic? Let's have a look. Dusty Rhodes Classic NXT 2020, was it? 2020, 2019? Right, let's have a look. The 2020 tournament. So, Imperium, probably stuck in the UK. Forgotten Sons, just been called up. Broserweights, current champs, so you couldn't do it anyway. Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster, probably stuck in the UK. Grizzled Young Veterans, probably stuck in the UK. Alex Shelley and Kushida, we haven't seen Alex Shelley since, so he might have only made a one-off appearance, so that's not really a team. Gallus, couldn't bring them up because they're probably stuck in the UK. And Undisputed Era, you can't bring them up because you've got to bring up all the other people. So, do you know what? In retrospect, what was the alternative? I genuinely think the Forgotten Sons have just been called up because there is no one else. Immense. And actually, we get to enjoy them right now. Yes. Lucha House Party versus the Forgotten Sons. The very powerful and intense and awful Forgotten Sons. Boom. Very strange. Very, very strange. They're going to get buried. Undeniable Heel says, I called the Forgotten Sons. I am Jack. Dude. I don't know how many times. Thank you, my friend. Really appreciate it, but a line has now been crossed. Shout out to you, Jack. I didn't even... Do you know what? Jack, I've literally just suspended you for the £10 donation. I didn't even see the £20 donation because I was too busy trying to work out why the funk... I said funk. The Forgotten Sons had been called up. Birch and Lorcan. Danny Birch and Oney Lorcan, yeah. Someone said the Singh Brothers as well. I wondered why people were saying Singh Brothers at me. New Age Outlaws. Everyone hates the Forgotten Sons. Everyone. Even the Forgotten Sons hate the Forgotten Sons. Coaster Maniacs, what are you doing? Dude, what are you doing? Oh. Has everyone lost their minds? What's going on? Let me put a little thank you down here. Coaster Maniacs, have you had your interview yet? For those of you that didn't see, Sonny Wolf, our very own Sonny Wolf, was interviewed by the Insiders Wrestling podcast. There we go. Look, a thank you to Coaster Maniacs at the bottom of the screen. Shout out to you guys. You'll have to don't super chat. Just let me know. Have you had your interview recorded yet? Because that'll be an interesting one, talking about roller coasters and everything. The Forgotten Sons were literally forgotten. They were literally forgotten. BBBYPSI days, you left out the Wild Samoans. They were a great team. Yeah, it's hard to fit everyone in though, isn't it? Coaster Maniacs, can't believe you did that, guys. Shout out to you guys. Rusty Shackleford says, oh well, might as well join the party. You can't tell me no. I just want to watch wrestling. That's all I want to do. Just want to watch wrestling. Shout out to Rusty Shackelford. Boom. We've got Jack. We've got Coaster Maniacs. We've got Rusty Shackelford. We've got the Forgotten Sons around. This has turned into a mad stream. Shout out to you, Rusty. Rusty is someone that has had an interview as well. Very, very interesting interview. Very, very interesting interview. Food Stars says Mustache Mountain, they would be stuck in the UK also, of course. People loving Rusty. Drop in that $20. Guys, the amount of cheese that I'd be able to buy now. I'm gonna buy a cheese factory. That's what I'm gonna buy. Daisy's cheese coming very, very soon. The world has gone mad. The world has gone mad. Shout out to Adonis. We've got Lindsay Dorado going to the outside. Grand Metalik getting rolled up. Nice. Inseguri. Against the ropes goes. Metalik gets caught. Lands on his feet. Clothesline. Forgotten no more. They've been saying that for years. They've been saying that for years. I just want to watch wrestling. I do, you boy. I just want to watch wrestling with you guys. Guys, the Forgotten Sons have picked up a victory. In a hard-hitting little match. Right, we're at the halfway point. Get your scores in. Daisy's cottage cheese, says Coaster Maniacs. Yes. It's quite surprising how often we talk about cheese, in all fairness. Now you've got to give us a stream tomorrow. I know, it's madness. Madness. The support from you guys is insane. Insane. Right, backstage. What is in that? What is in that? Oh, light bulbs. Here is Dana Brooke and Carmella. Is that going to be a new team? Is Dana Brooke and Carmella going to be a new team? Oh, yeah, they're saying they want to challenge them. Here's the thing. So, I'm guessing we are going to be getting this match. What does that even mean? Why do they overact so much? Like, why is Dana Brooke like... I don't understand. Alexa says from now on you need to drink decaf. Pew, 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 pew. Right, the legit boss. Get your halftime scores in. Shout out to Coaster Maniacs. Very, very kind. Very, very supportive. Massive supporter of the channel. And as I said, can't wait for that interview. Rusty Shackelford goes without saying. No one tells Rusty what to do. Wouldn't even dream of it. So shout out to Rusty Shackelford. Shout out to Food Stars as well. Thanks, Days, for the stream. Bye for now. And remember to sub. Will do. Will do. Days, Dana and Mella's name should be called the Self-Isolation Nation. Shane, what are you doing, dude? Days, get some Wensleydale cheese. Guys, next time you see me, I'm just going to be surrounded. There's going to be like this absolute mountain of cheese. There's going to be cheese everywhere. Shane Cowley. Right. Shane Cowley, what am I doing? Thank you at the bottom. Thank you, Shane Cowley. Shout out to you, Shane. Thank you very much, buddy. Guys, the amount of cheese. I might even change the background. Let's have a look. Let's do a quick search. Cheese. Not the first time I've Googled that. Cheese. There we go. Here come the money. Here come the money. Money, 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 money. I don't know why I'm singing that. That's literally got nothing to do with cheese. Where's the background? Here we go. Let's get the cheese. Let's get the cheese. Where is it? I've lost the cheese. I've lost the cheese. Where is the cheese? We're at commercial break anyway. Don't think I'm looking for pictures of cheese instead of talking about wrestling. I'd hate for anyone to just join us going, why is this guy not talking about SmackDown? There's nothing happening. We're at commercial break. So just let me look for cheese in peace, would you? Thank you. Don't ask for much. Turns out I was in the wrong folder. I wasn't in my cheese folder. So I'm had to change folders. Right. There it is. There it is. Oh! Ooh! Nom, 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 nom. Cheese, baby! I think I've lost my mind. Do you know what? I think I've actually lost my mind. I'm sitting here, like, pretending to eat cheese for no reason whatsoever. All thanks to Shane Cowley that pushed me over the edge. It's literally you, buddy, that has pushed me over the edge. Anadors. Adam Pacitti was asking his chat from Cultaholic to warn you about Jack being banned from their stream tonight for the same thing he was doing here. Adam Pacitti was asking his chat from Cultaholic to warn you about Jack being banned from their stream because he was doing the same thing here. Really? What? Jack was doing the same thing over there? Right. Days, will Fiend attack Braun after the main event? Will Fiend attack Braun? There's a chance, isn't there, I suppose, but do you want to see Fiend going after the title again? Like, the whole thing would have been a mess, would have been a waste of time. Him losing the title to Goldberg would have been for no reason, you know? Yes, get your halftime scores in. I haven't even read them out. Halftime scores. Hunter says 6.5. Days is a rat, says Zachary. Confirmed. Hunter says 6.5. 7 says Jason. Little bit of lag, is there? Just a little bit of lag. Touch of lag. It's nice. Everyone's dropping by. We've even had a little bit of lag drop by. These people get called up to die, but because the Forgotten Sons are already dead, maybe they're going to get revived. Interesting. Sean says 7. Chalmers says 1. Right, something's happening here, surely. But she didn't. So where's this leading to? Ding dong! I just saw Bailey's ding dong. What? Coaster Maniacs Days, what did you think of the bombshell?
How did I do that, Michael? I don't know.
The bombshell? What bombshell?
Weird.
What, the Forgotten Sons?
We're the best. We are the ultimate role model.
We are the ultimate role models.
Sheep sitting at home.
To all you sheep sitting at home. Is Lacey going to come out?
We were going to have our friendship ruined. Well, we got two simple words for you. Screw you.
Screw you.
You see, because these ignorant sheep will never understand our friendship.
These sheep will never understand our friendship.
Present or future.
Okay. Yes. Tamina on the way. You wanted something big. Here it is. Tamina making her way down. 7 out of 10. Trini. Shout out to you, Trini. Days, put some Sargento thinly sliced cheese in the back. I don't even know what that is. Sargento. I've never even heard of it. You smell great. Some flirting going on here from Bailey. Why do they act so scared of Tamina?
Wanted to congratulate you on such a dominant performance at WrestleMania. It was so good. Like, we weren't really expecting it because you shut the hell up.
Tamina says, please shut the hell up.
You did not beat me.
You didn't beat me at Mania.
Nobody beat me at Mania. It took all of you.
Yes, but you are very beatable, Tamina. That's the problem. Sasha keeps teasing. Yes.
Why don't you be a great example and fight me one-on-one for the title?
Fight me one-on-one for the title.
I mean, well, I'm sorry, Tamina. I know you just came back a couple weeks ago from whatever coconut show you've been hiding in for the past year. But there is a pecking order around here.
There's a pecking order around here.
Up to the Ciampa and make demand.
So Bailey is holding Sasha back.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But.
Where's this leading? Is it just going to lead towards a Tamina match?
So, you can have your match with him.
If you can beat Sasha.
You can beat the standard,
Yeah.
the boss, the blueprint, the greatest of all time.
You can see that Sasha's a little bit annoyed at that.
Sasha Banks
Yeah, I'm not sure that Sasha really appreciates that.
accepted. And Sid, your bestie just screwed you.
Your bestie just screwed you.
I'll tell you what, Corey, I tend to agree with Tamina. You and me both, Cole. I think Bailey just sacrificed the boss to Tamina next week. What an opportunity. If Tamina beats the boss, she gets a championship chance against Bailey. Well, still to come tonight, speaking of champions, the Universal Champion is here. Braun Strowman goes one-on-one with
Dude, why have you dropped that?
later on tonight. And one of the most celebrated superstars ever in WWE.
Please request that back. Please, please, please request that back. I'll read you. Oh, please request it back. But I'll read your message. It says, Days, from me, my fiance, and my son, you deserve every cent of this. You have entertained us all for over a week and made everyone forget about the problems in the world. We love you. We look forward to having a Skype call since we can't meet you in person. Dude, please take that back, because that is... I mean, like, I'm starting to wonder if you are I Am Jack in disguise. Does I Am Jack like roller coasters? Is I Am Jack a roller coaster maniac? Is that what's happened here? I mean... yeah, look, Anna Dawes. Anna Dawes says, I Am Jack did a $400 donation on the stream. And then moments later, Coaster Maniacs has done $400. Where's Chalmers? Chalmers, get on this. Chalmers, where are you? I know you're in the chat, Chalmers. Get on this, Chalmers. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something's not right. My spidey senses are I can't even talk. My spidey senses are tingling, Chalmers. Jay Whitefeather. Can I just say Jay Whitefeather with a $2 donation? Shout out to you, buddy. Shout out to you. Let me have a look and see who else there is. Right, I'm gonna try and come back to this. Days is gonna buy. Adam's chat has done some digging. Jack is 11. Let me go up and see. Where are we? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Coaster Maniacs, it doesn't make any sense. Is this an alternative account that I Am Jack's got? I don't understand. Don't buy it, Days. It is him. Shout out to you, Vape Ross. All I wanted was some cheese. That's all I wanted. Do you know guys, I don't know how much cheese is where you are. Days, it's him. Chalmers, we've got problems. Yeah, where is Chalmers? I don't feel like this is a fake account. Look, I've never ever questioned that Coaster Maniacs and I Am Jack could be connected. But I am now starting to question that. And how weird that Anna said just moments before. Anna must have been typing this at the same time that I Am Jack had dropped $400 donation onto their stream. And then moments later, $400 donation from Coaster Maniacs. Don't understand. Who's Jack? I'm unsure. My name's Jason from Mass and I can prove it. What is going on? Coaster Maniacs is a different person. Yeah, I think I'm under the impression that I feel like I've been speaking to a family. Whenever I've spoken to Coaster Maniacs, I feel like I've been speaking to a family. I'm actually scared. That's what's happened. I'm actually scared. I'm scared right now. Days, be grateful. It's disrespectful to refuse or return a monetary gift. This could be the worst of all time if we don't get a Funhouse, says John. Okay. This is what we're going to do. Shout out to Coaster Maniacs, okay? Stop! Coaster Maniac says, it wouldn't let me do the 500. I'd wanted to do it for a while. Okay, cool. Stop. Right, stop. You've been super supportive. Dude, I wouldn't know what to say if you donated $40. I struggle with, like, the 50s that we get coming through. So, stop. Shout out to you, absolutely. Like, you've literally just blown the minds of everyone in the chat. I don't know what's happening. Who's... I don't even know what's going on. We've got Sheamus versus... Who's this? Dolph Ziggler wannabe? Wrestling Dude says, in Asda, you can get 10 slices of cheese for £1. Well, look, Wrestling Dude, can I just say that your one donation is going to allow me to buy 20 slices of cheese? Yeah? Just your one donation is going to allow me to buy 20 slices of cheese. So I want to say a big, big thank you. Sheamus versus Who is this guy? Who is this, like, vampire lookalike bro kick? Days, name the jobber. Guys, we name the jobber. Jake says, on this episode of Catfish, Days explodes. Jack was on about that the other day. Refund it. You can't refund it. You can't. The thing with Super Chats is that I can get in touch with YouTube over it and see if YouTube can do something with it, because obviously it's not right. And I've got no problem with doing that. But there's not a button where you can refund. There's nothing. I don't have access to that, because I said this the other day. The problem is that YouTube take a percentage of it, so YouTube are very much involved in it. Sheamus just staring at Corey Graves there. No offense, guys, but these super chats give me a headache. Dave deserves the support, but look what you've done. Yes, you've broken me. You've broken me. There's no way I can respond to this kindness, you know. Jeff Hardy. This is the rise of Jeff Hardy. So there's a new 24 Jeff Hardy program on the way. Days, refund it. Don't get in legal trouble. Dude, I'm more than happy to refund it. It is Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos bidding versus each other. Sandman882 says, Days, don't have a heart attack on stream. We're close. We're close, Sandman882. We're close. Turn it off. We should turn it off, shouldn't we? We should turn it. I mean, in all fairness, there's 25 minutes left. I'll contact YouTube about it. Days, what is your favourite title? Mine is the US title. I can't even think right now. I can't even think. Days just told Rusty what to do. I definitely did not tell Rusty what to do. Definitely didn't. Swamp Manor, I will be going to YouTube and requesting that this gets sent back, so don't refund it. No. I'll tell you now, I'm gonna go to YouTube and I'm gonna ask that they refund Coaster Maniacs and I Am Jack. I'm all for donations, but there has to be a line. Get a grip, Days. Shout out to you, Tony. It's not why we do it. Genuinely, I do it because I enjoy watching wrestling with you guys. And if you enjoy it, that's it. Brilliant. Come back next time. That's all I ask. Subscribe to the channel. Join us. The fact that there's people that enjoy it that much, you know, I mean, nothing but love to Coaster Maniacs. Of course. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely nothing but love to Coaster Maniacs. I'm so pleased that there's so many people that join us every day. And as we said, this is day 13. And, you know, it's an absolute pleasure to watch wrestling with you guys, get your thoughts and interact. And, yeah, totally down for all of that. But, man, these super chats are madness. We've got 23 minutes to go. Are you serious, Days? Yeah, of course. Nick Gilbert. Thank you, Nick. That's another 10 slices of cheese coming home to Daddy. Shout out to Nick Gilbert. Do a Skype call with Coaster. That's what he wants. Teleport Brian Rosa says 7-star. Well, shout out to Coaster. Days, Coaster and Jack can't be the same person. They donated in different currencies. Don't get it. I can't get my head around it. How did Anna Dawes say that I Am Jack had donated money over on the Cultaholic stream? Like 400, and then literally just moments later, Coaster Maniacs does the same. Oh, I can't get it. I can't figure it out. Oh, I don't want to keep dwelling on it because you guys were here for this watch along, so I want to focus on SmackDown. We are at commercial break. So we are at commercial break at the moment. Give me what I want! Days, I think you missed my £1 donation. Imtiaz, I am so sorry. Where is it, Imtiaz? Is it all the way back up here? Sandman saying don't have a heart attack. Dude, I can't see it. Do you know what? That's the donations that I'm looking for. Little £1 cheeky donations. Shout out to you, Imtiaz. Hope you are well. Hope you're enjoying the self-isolating life. Days absolutely deserves it, but at some point it is like, damn. I know. We do not congratulate children for stealing parents' credit cards. This is true. Very true. Is it all connected to Lennox? Do you remember Lennox from the other week? Days, you can now afford the PAAS Deluxe Easter Egg Colouring Kit. Yes! Come on! Days wants cheese, not money. I didn't even want that much cheese. I don't even want. I just like a cracker, just one little summit. Honestly, couple of pound donation. That's me done, mate. That's me done for the evening. I'm off down to Cheesetown. I don't know if I live near Cheesetown, but you know, I could go off down to Cheesetown. Days, I've sent a funny picture on Twitter. Okay, I'm not gonna focus on anything other than wrestling because I feel like I've been already distracted a little bit. Look, I already missed Sheamus versus Zolf Ziggler, so I need to go back and focus on this. Matthew Lopez, Days, how are you? Hope you are well. I'm good, thank you, Matthew. I hope you are well as well. I hope everyone is well. In 2 weeks' time, we've got the Triple H celebration. The King of Kings. Buy a cow. Let's buy a cow. Let's buy a cow. That seems like a very reasonable thing to do. Let's sit. This is Doris. Me and Doris. Yeah? She says hello. So, yeah, next week's going to be wild. Next week, I'm going to be sitting here like Flavor Flav. Just dripping in all this gold, and I'm going to have a cow. It's going to be wild. Make sure you don't miss next week's streams. Shout out to Rob Johnson. Days, feed the super chats to Devil Vince. This is the start of a Days versus Coaster Maniacs SummerSlam angle. I mean, I'm not looking to go to war with people that show that level of generosity, you know? So, it's certainly not going to be leading towards a match. If Tamina beats Sasha, then she will earn a women's championship match. So, Tamina versus Sasha next week. Looks like I'm going to have to pull in a £99.99 donation. Money in the Bank qualifying match. Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro. Naomi versus Dana Brooke. So, yeah, money in the Bank. Qualifying matches. So they seem very comfortable, confident that we're definitely going to get that. Sonya Deville attempts to clear the air with Mandy Rose. That's next week. next week. Braun Strowman. Strowman, here he comes. So this will be a win for Strowman. Just to put this feud to bed. That's what I think is going to happen here. Is the universal. Zachary said, beat Tiger Days. I could, couldn't I? I could start my own little zoo with tiger cubs and everything. I could be Days Exotic. That's what I'm going to become. I'm going to become Days Exotic. All these kind donations are going towards me starting up my own zoo with tiger cubs. Days in the Bank 2020. Coaster Maniac says, I'm 26. And what age did you win the lottery? Derek says, Days, hope you get the reference. Retro WWF. Only two things that don't last. Dogs that chase cars and the days that don't take the money. Sunny Wolf says, going to be back soon. Miss Clown 1 says, Days, did you see that DDP might take Jake back after seeing Jake's tweets? No, I didn't. Has Jake been tweeting out some crazy stuff? Stressful. I mean, like, Jake, you can't be leaving Jake on his own in a hotel. We all knew this. Days, the Insiders interview is going to be fun. Now, Coaster Maniacs, I can pretty much guarantee that your interview is going to be unmissable. I can't think of anyone. I mean, like, your interview is going to be fun anyway. I can't wait to hear the Sunny Wolf interview. Because Sunny Wolf, a very active part of our community, and her interview was up on the channel earlier. But people love roller coasters. People have seen how supportive you've been. And after tonight... madness, my friend. Days, you could buy the whole dollar store and turn it into a dollar mansion. Yes. That's actually my plan. Days, from this stream alone, you must have gotten £1,000. Well, no, because I will be requesting that it gets sent back. I genuinely, and I'm being honest here, I don't know how easy of a process that is. I don't know. Days wants cheese. He likes cheese and chocolates with Linda and Huskus. That's it. That's my perfect night. Linda, Huskus, some chocolate, some cheese. Do you know what I mean? Beautiful. Is this a Universal Championship match? No. Coaster Maniacs says, oh, don't say that. Don't say that. Oh, what, are you trying to break my heart? Coaster Maniac saying, I was going to buy a belt, but I don't need it. Oh, why have you said that? Oh, just have it back. Have it back. Have it back. Buy the belt. Buy the belt. Big strike by Braun. Cynthia says, I've missed a lot tonight. You've missed me nearly having heart failure several times. Days, I'm sorry, but the whole dollar store is actually 50 cents plus fees. Liam says, I'm still gobsmacked. I don't even have £400 for myself, and he's handing it out to people. DJ says, I now want cheese. Right, we're going to commercial break. We're going to be sticking around for another half an hour. There's 15 minutes left of SmackDown. And then there is 15 minutes where we'll just kind of review the show, whatever. Don't forget, jump over to the Wrestling Escape Pod. That follows straight after. The Wrestling Escape Pod. You just need to... In fact, I could even get the link ready. Wrestling Escape Pod. So that I can just drop it into the chat. That's clever, that is. It's clever. It's forward thinking, that is. I'm going to find the link so I can just drop the link into the chat. That's a classic C wrestling move. Classic C wrestling. But Tommy's Toy Travels is actually going to be over there. So you'll be able to ask Tommy questions, and I think it's a fun episode. As I said, I'm the one that edits it. I can't even talk. I'm the one that does the editing for it. So yeah, it's been fully edited and everything by me. I'm going to try and drop the thing in the chat. Let's see if it works. Right, I've just put the link in the chat. I just want to see if it's correct. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. How do I get rid of it now? Oh, no. Boom. Right. This is horrible. I've really messed the chat up now. I've now officially lost the chat. Right, there's people... Oh, my God. Okay, hang on. Can everyone just calm down? Because I just checked to see if that link worked. It did, but now I've lost the chat. Okay, I've got no chat. I'm going so low. If you are just joining us, tonight's show's been all right. I would say it had been better than Raw. I feel like tonight has made... the stories have made a little bit more sense. There's not been as many squash matches. We haven't had The Fiend. We haven't had John Cena. I wasn't really expecting them. But, yeah, this is where we are. So, not the best show in the world. This Tuesday on FS1. Ruthless Aggression. Jonathan says, I wish that Nakamura would win by underhanded circumstances. Shout out to you, Mark Leslie. Thank you for the information. Vape Ross Vape says, Days, I was going to buy a kidney, but here you go. Can you buy kidneys for £2? I don't know. Days, do you consider the NXT title a world title? No. No. They're going to have to really change that. Big collision by Braun. Days, leave the links to me. Never try to do things out of your comfort zone. It's true, yeah. It is true. Days, what was your first contact with wrestling? My cousin. I didn't even know it existed. I didn't know anything about it, but my cousin, I think, was watching it when I went round to my nan and granddad's. I was very young. My cousin's 3 years older than me, and in the early 90s, my cousin was watching it, and he got me into it. I didn't know anything about it, but, you know, you start watching people like Kamala, Undertaker, Big Boss Man, Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, you know, you've Papa Shango. You've just got all these larger-than-life characters, and you just want to learn everything about them. You want to see their matches. You want to find out. You want to watch as much as you can, don't you? But I was never someone that was able to watch Raw every single week or SmackDown every single week. We never had a way to watch. So I used to have to watch videotapes that my cousin would get me. But then we would go to Car Boots. And, like, you could get an old wrestling videotape for 50p. I'd have bags. Of, like, wrestling videotapes. And then I'd just sit there and just go through them. There is the Strowman Express shoulder charge. And Cesaro gets knocked over the barricade. Days, how do you get an interview on the Insiders podcast? Do you have to be well known? No, I would say that you've got a better chance of being interviewed if you are more active, because obviously the intrigue will be higher. If people have seen you in the chat a lot, then the intrigue will be higher, and so that's Braun getting the win. That helps. But just reach out to the insiders. If you reach out to the insiders, they will... they're looking to speak to anyone and everyone. I think, do you know what? I actually think it'd be really fun to speak to someone that doesn't comment. I'd love to know what people that just sit back and watch the watch-alongs. I think that'd be really interesting. What do they get from it? What do they see? Is there people out there that watch the next day that don't even join us live? You know? Braun Strowman victorious over Nakamura, and he screams out, "This is my ring," as we get a Firefly Funhouse. Firefly Funhouse. So is Bray going after that Universal title again? Or are we just moving on to a different segment? We've got a whiteboard, the history of John Cena and Bray Wyatt. He says, I've just got to rewrite a little history. So, WrestleMania last Sunday, we're just going to get a little recap, I think, of what happened in that Firefly Funhouse match. And that's exactly what we're getting. John Cena disappearing at the end. You were right all along. We really can't see you. Braun. Congratulations, champ. Bray says he's happy for Braun. But the old head, the lantern, is talking. That was a long time ago. I'm sure he's learnt his lesson. They're showing Braun being in the Wyatt family. You turned your back on me. You turned your back on your family. Of course, Braun was drafted away from the Wyatt family. I think I can forgive him. Mercy says, no, don't forgive him. He's gross, says Abby. Huskus is okay. Rambling Rabbit thinks Braun's a good guy. Rambling Rabbit always sides with anyone and everyone that isn't Bray. Tell me you're sorry. Make me proud. Braun says I'm not playing these games. You're too busy telling people to get these hands rather than learning those manners. It's a nice line. You've got some I want back. It's right there on your shoulder. He wants it back. As one circle closes, another begins again. I'm gonna have to take you out. Bye. Bye. Bye, Braun. Whoa, whoa. Braun's like, hey, before you go. But the music's playing, Braun. Anytime you want. I'm ready. Anytime you want. I'm ready to let you in. I think that's what he wants. Braun. Braun says bye. Braun getting the final word. So Braun clearly not intimidated by the Fiend or by Bray. And it seems like Bray wants that championship back. So Bray very much now moving on from Cena, not dwelling on Cena. I don't think this was the original plan. I mean, obviously it was meant to be Roman that was going to be winning the title. And I'm not sure we were going to be getting Roman versus Bray, Roman versus The Fiend. But with Roman out of the picture for several weeks due to his health, with Goldberg having no more dates on his contract, and him out of the picture, who does Braun feud with? You would have to have a look at SmackDown and say that it's a little bit thin at the top right now. So, with that being said, I suppose Bray is one of the only options. Plus also, you've got the history for them to explore. This isn't the way that I expected it to go, to be honest. I think there are other options. I thought Nakamura was an interesting option. But Nakamura getting beaten in the main event tonight, clearly not at that level or not seen at that level. So, yeah, really, really interesting end to SmackDown, and one that points towards a feud between Bray and Braun. You got to worry, though, because I don't think that Bray is going to get that title off Braun. I'm not sure how long Braun's going to hold it for, but I'm not sure they're going to take the title back. If they do, then that whole mess with Goldberg, I think, gets even worse, because now you would look at it and say it was just one big, massive mistake. I felt it was a mistake at the time anyway that Bray and The Fiend lost that title to Braun. I think we were all in agreement with that. But if they're just going to do a match now between The Fiend and Braun and put the title back onto Bray and The Fiend, then I think that's a real mistake. So this is really difficult. This feud is really difficult for Bray to come out looking good in. Because if he wins the title, I think the bigger talking point is he never should have lost it in the first place. And if he doesn't win the title, then you know that the talk's going to be that he's buried. So it's hard. It's really, really hard. And I don't know what they do. But with the history and Braun's history of being in the family, it's going to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Good stuff. Jay Shy says, is there anything on Cena and Fiend? No, I think Cena is trapped in a different realm. He's been deleted. I don't know where he is or what he's doing, but I'm not expecting to see him anytime soon. Get your scores in. What did you think of SmackDown? 8.5. Min King says we don't need The Fiend as champion. His only good match was against Bryan at Royal Rumble. I think it's lack of options. That's my gut feeling. I genuinely think it's lack of options. Nelson says I'm worried. Noel says I knew it. Marie says let's not think negative. Maybe he wins and then he gives it to John, says Robin813. That would suck because John's only one away from the all-time record. So that's not how you would want John breaking that record. Plus also, you can't gift it. As soon as you gift it, it becomes voided, like Andre when he gifted it to $1 Million Man. It got voided and they ended up doing the tournament. Nakamura deserves much better, says Cameron. Chris says 8. Days, can See Wrestling get some congrats for B-Day using circle theory? B-Day? What do you mean? What's B-Day? I don't know what that means. 8.5 out of 10, I think, is generous. John Cena came back as a heel. Young $sign. Liam says, Days, as you know, I've been very active in the chat for years. Oh, definitely. So hopefully at some point I could get onto the insiders. Yeah, drop them a message, bud. Drop them a message. Drop them a message because if you're active in the chat, then yeah, of course. The thing is, they want to interview everyone, But obviously the interviews that are probably going to resonate with people more is going to be from people that are more active, because other people will know who you are. I think that it'd be really interesting to get someone that hides in the shadows, that's watched all the watch-alongs but can't watch live, or doesn't feel comfortable in like putting messages in or something. I think that would be really interesting to see what they see, because they might have a different experience to what you guys are having, being like really active. So yeah, all I'd say is that if you're in the chat a lot, or if you're not in the chat at all, just get in touch with the insiders. They absolutely want to hear from you. Will Braun be evil Huskus? Well, do you know, it was quite interesting because Braun did say there, I'm not scared to let you in. But if you let him in, I think that's what we saw at WrestleMania. I think what we saw was John Cena letting The Fiend in. John Cena let Bray in at WrestleMania, and you saw what happened. So if Braun is going to do the same, I mean, it might have just been all talk, but, if Braun is going to do the same, then it's going to be a very similar story for him. And what does Braun's darkness look like? It's an interesting point. I've got to say, I think out of all of the episodes behind closed doors, that was one of the best they've done. I need to score it as well, don't I? I would be leaning towards a 7.75. I feel like that first match was really good. I really enjoyed the opening match. And I thought the main event had potential, but never really got there, in all fairness. I think Tucker versus Dolph was fine. Forgotten Sons getting called up was weird, but as we said, I think I understand why they did it, because what other option did they have? I think that at the very end was very intriguing. What you want with these shows is like a talking point. So for me, an average show would be 6.5, but then we got a great match at the start. We got a big talking point with the Firefly Funhouse. So with all of this stuff, I kind of feel like it really pushed it up. Maybe 7.75 is a bit high in retrospect, because outside of that, I might struggle to justify it. Let's take it down to 7.5. That feels a bit better. That feels a little better. That feels better. 6.75. 9 says Sherry Ann. 6.25 says William. 7.25 says Sean. 7 says DJ B Tazzy. 8 says Kevin. Vegan says he could tease a heel John with this. That's a good point. That's a very good point. That would be a really good way forward, actually, because if you get a heel John Cena helping Bray, then not only does he get the title back, but then you could say that this was worth it. You could say that this was worth it. That's a very interesting point, Vegan. Chalmers says, I hated this SmackDown. How come? I'd be interested to know how come. I respect your score, but I'd be interested. I really thought that first match was really good, and that took up a quarter of the show. And then I thought the end. I thought the end was decent with the Funhouse, so I thought that was all right. Bits in the middle: Tamina, Sasha, Bayley. A little bit overacted, but at least it makes sense. Tag teams running that match back, but with the people that couldn't compete at WrestleMania in a couple of weeks. Think that makes sense. Might not be the best thing in the world, but makes sense. Forgotten Sons call up. Not over the moon about it, but at least we got some. Again, I think I look for talking points. When I'm watching the show, I just want something that we can talk about. What I don't want is just a load of bland matches and a load of bland moments. And I didn't feel that we got that tonight. I feel like whether you liked them or not, there was talking points. Braun coming out at the start, cutting that promo. Nakamura coming down. Yeah, it was alright. It was alright. Sunny Wolf says, what did I miss? I missed the Funhouse. You missed the Funhouse. You missed the Funhouse. Days with 400, you can buy 2,000 pieces of cheese. 10 out of 10 for the Coaster Maniacs donation. Very, very, very kind donation, but I will be requesting that it gets refunded back. Amanda Catherine says, wish that we got to see Seth and Daniel Bryan. Wish we got to see what Seth and Daniel Bryan went through when they let him in. Yeah. I suppose, though, that was part of the fun, wasn't it? You didn't really... You don't know what that process looks like, but we saw it now with John Cena, so you can kind of make up your own mind and figure out your own story as to what they went through based on what John Cena has gone through. So that's why I love that Firefly Funhouse WrestleMania segment, because it was a segment. It wasn't a match. The biggest problem they did was call it a match. It was a segment. But it was very revealing. It really showed us what went on in their minds. And, foolish of Braun in many ways to say he's not scared to let the Fiend in. Was he not watching WrestleMania? He definitely should have been watching. Rusty Shackleford says, Days, would you mind if we get a Callan corner? No, but we've got 6 minutes, and it tends to take her a lot longer than that. Is she around? I don't even know if she's around. What about the Sheamus match? Dude, there was so much going on in the chat, I didn't even see the Sheamus match. Sheamus versus no one. I don't even know who he faced. Days, what do you think WWE will follow? Do you think WWE will follow AEW and suspend tapings? No. They're gonna keep recording as much as they can. Monica King, do you think that the fans that don't comment would feel comfortable with doing an interview? I do love the idea. Well, that's up for them to decide. I mean, the only thing I would say is that it's a chat with Jeff and Joe, isn't it? I suppose in a way it's a little bit different to putting your thoughts on a very public forum like this, because when you record an interview, it's not live. You record it, so it's nothing more than a chat with Joe and Jeff. And, if there's anything that you say that you're not sure about, that you want them to take out, they'll take it out for you. The interviews are not for showing people up. It's just a great way of, people being introduced a little more to the community. So I could understand them talking on the podcast would be a little unnerving, but it's not done live. So taking that into consideration, they're only talking to Joe and Jeff. It's just a recorded chat with Joe and Jeff. So I would think they would be all right. But I don't know. I can't speak for other people, so I don't know. Is she here? I don't know if she's here. Shout out to you, Marie. I missed it too. Got to go back and watch it. Oh, she is here. Jesse, have you got 4 minutes if you want to drop a Callan corner, if you've got the time. But we do need to go because the Wrestling Escape Pod is about to begin. The Wrestling Escape Pod is about to begin. I'm quite happy to keep on talking about what we've just seen. Days, you missed my super chat, Moda. Did I? It's not telling me at the top of the screen that you dropped one. It's really weird. I can see, obviously, Coaster Maniacs. Everyone can see that. I can see Rusty's. I can't even see Amanda Catherine's. It's really annoying that it doesn't show me all of the super chats. There it is, Moda. I got it. Since Huskus is okay, I guess Heel Days will go away. Heel Days was never here. That poem is my Leapin' Lanny Poffo moment. I like that. Yes, Leapin' Lanny Poffo, a.k.a. The Genius. The Genius. Days, Cena may be able to come back to SmackDown because most of the stuff he's doing will be cancelled. I got it, Moder, I got it. We got 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go, my friends. £10 a podcast. Joe and Jeff are great. Shout out to you. £10 of podcast. Right, we are very, very quickly running out of time. We've got 2 minutes to go. Coaster Maniacs, you definitely broke me. I think you broke the chat. Like, when something that big happens, we literally all just stand around going, what do we do? Like, this is, do you know what I mean? It's like if you stumble across a new country, you're like, I don't know what to do. What do we do? What happens now? What? Who are you? What? What? I am putting the links in for Wrestling Escape Pod. As I said, I am quite happy to go over there and carry on the conversation in the chat over there. I know a lot of people have still got thoughts. Jesse, if you want to drop Callan Corner over there, drop Callan Corner over there. I know that Triple T is going to be joining us over there as well. So the party is not ending. The party will continue. And also, don't forget as well that I have dropped in another embarrassing picture of me over there on Wrestling Escape Pod. I didn't do it on purpose, but the conversation is all about the history of our channels. It's really interesting because we talk about Grimm's Toy Show and Tommy being on GTS and Tommy's inspirations and how Tommy inspired me and what Tommy's been up to and all of this kind of stuff. Days, I've been watching for 3 years and I'm now only just starting to type in the chat. Well, you'd be a great person to speak to then, Sherry Ann. Again, get in touch with them. Get in touch with the Insiders. The Insiders have done an interview with Thunder Rosa tonight. Guys, I've got to go. Guys, I'm sitting here chatting away, but it's starting over on the Wrestling Escape Pod. I'm going over there now. Make sure you're going over there now as well. I've been dropping the links in the chat. Jump over there. Shout out to Andre. Shout out to you, buddy. Jump over to the Wrestling Escape Pod. The conversation can continue. There might be a Callan Corner. I don't even know what's going on. This has been a stream about not knowing what's been going on. So shout out to all of you. Thanks for the support. Shout out to Coaster Maniacs. You're definitely getting a refund. Shout out to I Am Jack. You're definitely getting a refund. Shout out to everyone else. None of you are getting refunds. And I'll see you over at the Wrestling Escape Pod. One more link. This is the final link that I'm putting on screen now. Final link to the pod. Time to escape. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.